was listening to? What up? I was on a whole nother height. Let me listen to what I was listening to.
Who doesn't love a good money?
No. I'm gonna play that. APG, I was just listening to. I was listening to a different song though. Let me see.
Still wanted by the government for a crime they didn't
Chillin'
commit.
in Oakland, a villain that's killing. It's no fun if the brothers ain't willing. Tell them fellas. Yeah, we don't take no. Flip a sucker off cause on the strength I'ma take no. That's how I'm living when I'm roaming the streets. California life, overlook the palm trees. Then realize where I'm from or where I'm going. You brothers ain't knowing, so step back when the sidewalks crack when I'm working. To me it's like lurking. On the MC sounding like Wrigley's. I'ma chew you up, spit you out like a loogie. There's no telling if you ain't prepared. If the crew will wanna stump you for just being there. Or wrong contact from me like a Big Mac. When we stump, it's sorta like a rat pack. To a prankster, Jay, what are we? Action pack, gangsters. Action pack, gangsters. Action pack, gangsters. Now I'm on wax, chillin' in Oakland. I'm getting paid cause my rhymes go potent. In connection with APG, I used to be detainee. Now I'm on the streets free. Cause getting paid is the main priority. Cause the groups come in packs of authority. We're series, knuckleheads hear me. Brothers on the block, they only fear me. For what reason? I'm running a set. You can gamble your life on the mic. I bet to be any perpetrating. My rhymes are updating in the region. To start up a season of rappers plugging with Metro, other words a posse, a 12-man Rambo. I know you hate it, but I stay dedicated to the work I'm entitled to. The Money Way crew, we're no pranksters. Jay, what are we? Action pack, gangsters. Action pack, gangsters. Action pack, gangsters. Yeah, that's right, I'm down with APG. We're only criminals when we wanna be. I play a MC just like Nintendo. He can't rap, but he pretend though. For my identity, sucker play silly. See, torture is the penalty. A rhyme ability, so come clean if you know what I mean.
I was
like
just
a psyker, a legend.
Chilling at the house, about to get it in. Chilling, I'm still chilling. What's up? Like the video, let's get up a cool post. I was on my, I just listened to this other one. Let me go back. I need my history. That's knocking. What was it? Oh yeah, that's right.
And during the few moments that we have left,
Yeah, action speaks louder than words, man.
Chat between you and me.
Get up and stop fronting. You're talking loud, but ain't saying nothing. You put your money where your mouth is, cause I'm here to prove rap real. Critics started popping, it was just a fad, but now it's still pumping, and the suckers are mad. Cause first they try to hang us, then they try to change us, and all this junk is coming from suckers who rearranged us. But I'm not going out like that, right, Black? Cause all that dissing is to the curb, and if you wanna know why,
yeah, actions speak louder than words, right? You know what I'm talking about? This that old school hype. I'm just chilling, about to get it in for the night. Got some time on my hands. Let's go and get it in.
To be or not to be, that is the question. There's nothing man in the land, stop fessing. People from everywhere come learn a lesson. Ken and Kev gonna hype this profession.
So look. The first record deal I ever got offered in Oakland was from them. Action pack gangsters. They probably hating on me for playing that music though. I want some people to be able to pal in the set. So let me go on and share the video. Open up the stream and get it popping. All right. Let me see. What's up with y'all though? Let me see. Okay. That music though. Let me see. Share. I'm gonna share this thing. See who out there. What's up with y'all? What cats been doing? So it was hella funny because it was hella easy to box that. Cats don't even got no neurons with information on them that you could just whip out the information and put hands on somebody. Like, you know what I'm saying? They was talking about that debate, and the topic of the debate is already crazy if you ask me. Like, what's better for people, the Bible or Kemetic literature? Come on, man. The brain don't even really work like that, do it? I mean, if it's something good over here and it's something good over there, sitting next to something bad over here and something bad over there, you just gonna leave the bad stuff alone, right? And mess with what's good. But we in the nature of just buying our time, pulling out everything that's bad, weaponizing information, and arguing about it. But acting like Egypt, acting like Kemetic knowledge ain't did enough for black people make you look stupid. Like, it just make you look crazy. So we ain't gonna let nobody do that. Now, ain't no need to be rushing. What's up? I see we got a few people in the chat. We gonna try to let people roll in the house. What's up, Professor X Spin Barrel? Let me see. Pop out chat. What's up? What's up? What's up, Christoph? Cousin Kurt, 504. Satim Hotep. We're going to try to see if we could get one popping. It's cool. I was just doing some research, and I'll be working too hard sometimes, and I'll be telling myself, man, stop working so hard. Like, you ain't got to build Rome in one day, you feel me? And so I just was like, let me just go online. Okay, what's up, Sly? Just chilling. About to get it in, do the knowledge real quick. So I was just beating them up because they had, let's go to that debate topic stuff. Y'all really know the Madjai archers is the last stand. You know, like, I don't even gotta say it, man. Shaka almost and Sonata get embarrassed again by Captain Tazarian. You see how he go frame it on
6. Horus groaned because of his eye of his body when he had eaten and swallowed it, and the Ennead saw it. Seth rasped because of his testicles. Horus transported semen into Seth's anus. Seth transported his semen into Horus' anus. That's what we doing, Si? That's spell recitation 396 on the pyramid walls of Pepi.
This is hella funny. That's all it takes to get a look out of somebody to make them feel like they're doing something. Let's watch. This is funny. Oh, hold on. We gotta go back.
6. Horus groaned because of his eye of his body when he had eaten and swallowed it, and the Ennead saw it. Seth rasped because of his testicles. Horus transported semen into Seth's anus. Seth transported his semen into Horus' anus. That's what we doing, Si? That's spell recitation 396 on the pyramid walls of Pepi.
Who gave you this stuff? Was it Dr. Reggie? No, I'm
laughing with Cesaria.
I didn't make this.
I'm laughing with Cesaria. Cats don't be having no response. They be looking. All you gotta do is look at people's face. Hold on, we going back. Look at Shaka face. Look, he can't. He need his glasses to do this Google. He need his glasses to do this Google right here. Look, he like, hold on. You wasn't prepared for this. You know you going up. Excuse me, y'all. You know you going up against Captain Tazariah of the Hebrews, and you ain't prepared for this.
That's spell recitation 396 on the pyramid walls of Pepe.
Who gave you this stuff? Was it Dr. Reggie? No, I'm just asking the question, brother.
I didn't make this.
Masturbated, and then that's how he created Shu and Teflon.
Right. Like the
So just for the record, we watch it Cross the Line Radio's edits. So sorry I edit this to make it look as bad as he could possibly make it look. So I'm just looking at it laughing, have some fun. Oh, I wish it was Saturday, but Cat's got to work tomorrow. Damn.
the God men. Like the God men.
God men or something like that, right?
Yeah, because they masturbating in the rivers and shit.
Right.
With
Well,
God men.
hold on. So, but eventually,
But eventually, God, I need to coach you dudes on how to deal with dudes. He talking about but eventually.
moving up. Come on, pay attention, right?
I am paying
Right.
attention, man.
Conversation.
Look at something.
See, now here's my thing. Sanada, I can't see him. I'm trying to talk to him.
Yeah,
I'm
why
I
you
like
messing with
me,
the
man.
Secondly, as I'm listening to Shaka do this breakdown, the one thing first thing that he's acknowledging.
First of all,
is that-
see, you gotta know how to cap. Cause this ain't scholarship. That's why I saw nothing laughing. Cats don't know how to cap and shit. Like cats didn't know how to defend themselves with comedy. You know, that's what capping was. You learned that as a youngster. Somebody bagging on you, you know how they gotta get back on them. This is just like making people laugh at you. It's like in the battle when they just bust jokes. So you supposed to have your lines lined up. I could have tell you how Shaka could have flipped this back over on him so funny, blood. This is just an angle he took on you. So I'm just telling you, game. He came out the gate. What gate? Man, y'all dudes don't play no chess. Y'all don't do nothing calculated. What happened to all the critical thinkers? Now, even if you wasn't prepared, you know you're going against Captain Terraria. What's the first stuff he about to be putting out there? I know this was before the debate when he beat him up. I mean, this is pre-debate beat up. But I'm like, come on, man. All the stuff in the Bible that's second funny that you're just supposed to have loaded up on your tongue. Anytime somebody say something, say, oh, that's just right when.
You haven't paid attention, man.
Oh, look.
Conversation. See, now here's my thing. Sanada, I can't see him. I'm trying to talk to him.
Yeah, why you messing with the
This should just be funny.
Secondly, as I'm listening to Shaka do this
See, this ain't scholarship. He just poking at you.
breakdown, the one thing first thing that he's acknowledging is that these are their records. And I don't think he realized what he's acknowledging by saying other people followed it. He's proving that we should not follow this shit. That's what he's proving, which is what this debate is about.
Hold on. What? I don't understand that. Wait, say that again. That don't make
This
sense.
is not a Hyksos. You said that the Hyksos chose to follow this, correct?
No, I'm saying you said. I'm not saying.
I didn't say anything about the Hyksos at all.
Whoa. Hold on. Let's not do the Hebrew confusion dance. Okay. You said that
I said what?
was a homosexual, correct?
No, I said that act that they did is homosexual.
No, we gotta go back. I gotta do some debate training, man.
Semen into Horus anus. That's what we doing, Si? That's spell recitation 396 on the pyramid walls of Pepe.
I'd have been like they was doing that right when Abraham was taking his uric oath, grabbing on some nuts. That's when they was doing that. They was doing that right when Abraham was grabbing on them nuts. See, you gotta let the laugh. You gotta get the last laugh. You can't let him go out laughing at you. No, that happened.
Who gave you this stuff? Was it Dr. Reggie?
That happened when Abraham was grabbing on them nuts, Tazarian.
I didn't make this.
Now that happened when Jonathan put David in his bosom.
And then that's how he created Shoe and Teflon.
Right.
This is just a joke contest right here, man. Don't take this note with no seriousness. If you, I mean, let me get into how easy you really beat up the real. This was just the fun part. I was showing his part for some jokes. Now they was really on what? Well, y'all know Shaka was gonna lose because y'all was propping him up like something he wasn't. Golly. See, it was really just, come on, man. Come on, it's promotion. It's like UFC or WWF. Come on, man.
Mason from the UK.
Hold on, I'm
We're talking about
one video.
Stupies. We're talking about a lot of different.
WW, so much F. You think Shaka gonna win? He be fooling y'all with that shit. Anybody you be talking about, that's a very stupid question. And where they tell you to say that at? Where they tell you to tell people that's a stupid question over and over again. Like you pompous buffoon. That is a very asinine question over and over again. Man, please. But I can't find I guess I can find the video. It ain't that hard. Let me see. Yeah. So first of all, let's read this flyer right here. See, the video gonna start and take down the thumbnail. I can't even see. Let me find the flyer somewhere behind them so I can see the flyer. Because this topic right here, first of all, who said, I'm like, why y'all be going there? What do I mean? I'll explain what I mean. Let me just find the dang flyer. What's better for the black community? What we talking about, bruh? Get a job. That's better for the black community. Go to school. Do something. I don't know why we gotta read the Bible or Kemet. Oh my gosh. Or why you can't have them both on your shelf? Like we just so adversarial. But I can't find nothing I'm looking for. So it's cool. Let's start talking about it. Look how stupid this debate is. They want to form the type of a discussion that would give them some type of an advantage. And they lightweight doing the best thing they could do to use their white supremacy. That's not going to be an easy one to catch, but just watch how the brain works. Cats, man, hold on, man. I need y'all to understand something. Let's see. All right, forget it. Look, I'm just going to illustrate some stuff to just show how stupid some of this stuff is. Because when we talk about this discussion, and since I can't find the exact title, I'm probably going to keep misreading it. I know how to find it. Look, it says, whose ancient writings can fix the black community? Not whose ancient writings have done something in the past previously to help black people, but whose ancient writings can fix the black community between Hebrew writings, I guess, and ancient Egyptian writings. So first of all, that's just like, okay, cool. That conversation wouldn't even last for hella long in the car riding on a long ass drive. Say you had a 6-hour drive, that's not going to take more than 20 minutes of the car conversation. So what started happening, I ain't even see the debate yet. But when I'm looking at all the dialogue around it, the opening and the diatribe leading up to it ain't even been all of the arguments laid out by everybody have not been consistent with first of all, they're trying to hold people to, no, we just talking about the writings, but the arguments laid out ain't consistent with the title. And furthermore, that is biased from the offset. And I got to show you why. Because how they skewed this was to start looking into the past for some reason to see which prominent people, like, oh, they say he was a Christian and he led this revolt. Or he was a Christian and he led this revolt. But they're not addressing the social order in America at the time of scrutiny. So what I mean by that, a fool who will try to take this and come against me and talk this nonsense, and then to be going in the past talking about, well, Harry Tubman was a Christian, Nat Turner used the Bible. Who used Kemet? First of all, you got to understand how things transpired. And that's why I be needing more time to talk, because when getting cut off by idiots who just want to object you for no reason, ain't nobody going to learn that. So, first and foremost, you got to go. I took them all the way back to Freemasonry just to give them some understanding of how knowledge is handed out in degrees. And when you think about black people who've accessed knowledge and did things with it to help the black community, you first have to address how you feel about Freemasonry. Because whether or not, like if you on some conspiracy Illuminati, that needs to be addressed. And if you are not, if you understand how these fraternal orders work or whatever, however you take it, it would have to be addressed at first. This got to be addressed. That most black preachers that even reach to any height of being a black preacher are Freemasons. Most, a lot, a great amount, a grand amount of people that preach, black preachers, are Freemasons. Now we understand that Masonry is handed out in degrees, right? And at the lower degrees of Masonry, what are you dealing with? All right, I'm going to have to open up a little whiteboard again so I can keep track. It's nothing but the button. So, again, I took him to Freemasonry just for a moment. And religiously, we know that in the lower realms of Freemasonry, you start dealing with what? You're dealing with Christianity. You see? But in the higher realms, what you dealing with? You're dealing with ancient Egyptian knowledge. That's what it is. So I opened this up so I can keep track of a few things, because cats be on some clown stuff when you try to look back and see what ancient Egyptian knowledge helped black people, even though that wasn't the topic, I can show you that, and I can show you that it came from writings. But I'm also going to show you how, like I said in the beginning, y'all did y'all best at trying to be goalpost moving white supremacist. So let me show you how. Anyway, it ain't no rush. Let's just build. So if you go all the way back to when it was illegal for black people to read, all right, you're going to find a brother with Kemetic knowledge that didn't prove it because we found his writings, but he proved it first because he wrote an almanac. See, this is why you be gotten the cats be just don't really know nothing. All right, cats just be tripping. Benjamin Banneker is where I just took him back to him for a reason. Because the knowledge, and then I'm about to give you some bars that cats don't know. The knowledge that this brother had to help in setting up America can be seen in the layout of Washington, D.C., which was laid out to match a place that he must have never went. Or did he go there? How would one have the knowledge to do a city layout of Washington, D.C., and to make it match what we see in Kemet? During the time when it was illegal for black people to read. See, we know a little bit about Benjamin Banneker, but I want to go further. Because he used his knowledge for other things. You know about what they told us? You know about them building the clock? He wasn't using the Bible. He didn't lay out D.C. like Israel, did he? He laid out the officialdom, specifically the lake, and how now they even came later and put an obelisk there to finish out what he started. He wasn't on no Kemetic knowledge. I gotta find the writings, or can we just go to D.C.? Now, this is what's going to beat y'all up, because he dealing with high science and high knowledge. He told the Europeans, not the Indians. Y'all thought the Indians taught the Europeans how to crop in the new land and to yield wonderful harvest? Who's responsible for that? Benjamin Banneker, and it ain't no Bible scripture that'll tell them how to learn how to do that. Tell me, all right, we could go into his almanac. See, because Benjamin Banneker wrote an almanac. One of the first American almanacs was written by a black man, and it's based on Kemetic knowledge. When this star get over here, plant this crop. When this season change, this season is harvest. Y'all think I'm playing? Dang, cats just be playing they so. Benjamin Banneker, and he did a lot more. Benjamin Banneker Almanac, PDF. Let's go. Let's see what he was saying. Let's see if we see Hebrew knowledge or Kemetic knowledge. Yeah, I know. Y'all the one changed the topic and started going backwards, talking about Nat Turner did this and all this other stuff. We just want to see the almanac. Oh, it's in the Library of Congress right here. Wow, that's why I love ChatGPT and beat Google up. Yup. Why y'all see they hiding the lugs? They trying to hide the lugs. It's cool. We're going to find it right here on Scrib. There you go. Right there for you. Come on, man. They going to let me download it? Nah, they ain't going to let me download it because I upload something. So let me find somebody else. I'm just coming off Library of Congress. They redid it. Benjamin Banneker taught them boys everything. Now remember, in masonry, how do it work? Especially in the 1800s, 1700s, you can't even let people know you read. Right? Because you black. So you can't have no information that would have been found in a book. Because you black. Yeah, I'm not mad at none of them names, Benjamin. I ain't going that route. We just going off the knowledge and information. My name is Jonathan. That's a Hebrew name. Feel me? It means given by Yah. I'm not tripping. So he probably wasn't tripping. But let's keep going. Just to look at his almanac and some of the type of knowledge that's in it to see if we can see where that would have came from. So what I got to click? Because that digital ID, I don't want the digital ID. I want to read the book, bro. Well, go in this almanac because I'm about to pull up something better. My spirits is just turning. This almanac is cool, but you know what you're going to find in the almanac? He telling them how the world work. Now, let's go in more on Benjamin Banneker since y'all want to be like, who? Benjamin Banneker start doing what? With all this Kemetic knowledge that was so impressive that he probably got through masonry. But what did he start doing? He started writing letters to Thomas Jefferson about the mistreatment of black people. After they were so befuddled and bewildered by his what? Kemetic knowledge. So all I can find is something from the Center of History of Physics. Okay? So I'm not mad at the Center for History of Physics. Got some little kid homework, and I'm just going to read what it say on the kid worksheet, whatever. Benjamin Banneker's Almanac of 1793. Use Benjamin Banneker's Almanac published in 1793 to answer the following questions. Okay, so this is what you can answer. These some questions you can answer if we had the book, even though I'm going to still keep looking. On what day, hour, and minute was the full moon on February 17, 1993? Did anything noteworthy happen that day? Benjamin Banneker, this brother told the nation that? What was the weather like on the 4th of July? Okay, well, that's just a collection of data. How many eclipses were there in 1793? Where were they? Now, the Hebrew Bible would tell you to stay up out them stars. Don't look to the stars. So you'll never be able to do that. I'm just having fun. I know you could do that. I'm just saying. Look, How many eclipses? He knew that. They got that out his book. How many miles were there between Philadelphia and Pittsburgh? Benjamin can tell him that. They didn't know that. They was fresh coming to this state. Like, let me get that Banneker book. When were the Supreme Court sessions held in Philadelphia? Who was the Chief Justice? Okay, that was just some little stuff. I just wanted to read what was on their little homework. Still trying to find it, but I don't need to find it, actually. Because what I really want to find is his letters to Thomas Jefferson. Benjamin Banneker's letters to Thomas Jefferson saying, bruh, you see, I'm smarter than you. And I'm going off my memory. So he started by sending him the almanac. See, people don't know how this went down. Kemetic knowledge back before you could read. Well, why am I saying that? You tell me where in the Bible he learned all this. That's what I'm telling you. And I detailed how we get this information through Freemasonry. And when you get higher up, you're going to start learning. They're going to start talking about what? Egypt. So what did it say right here? Benjamin, it said his something about sending letters to Thomas Jefferson. Let's see. Somebody else talking about him in the Journal of Negro History, 1918. This is wonderful. Let's see if they got them letters in there. I'm not reading all this. Y'all better come. Somebody want to come read? I'm looking for copies of those letters. But this look, I'm gonna keep this read up for probably when I get off. Look. Well, let's continue though. All right, let me see. You know why? That's the first time I heard my computer fan come on in hella long. Let me see. It is because it is in the same way. Well, you look at that Benjamin Banneker's almanac. You look up the information in it. Let's keep going. Let's find Banneker's letters to Thomas Jefferson. Yeah, the PDF. He was getting at that boy. And so inspired by Benjamin Banneker 100 years later, who we gonna see? Well, a little bit more than 100 years later. I don't even want to say about 200, about 200 years later. But not that many, maybe 150 something. So now we got the primary source. See how we do it? We hit it with primaries. The letter to Thomas Jefferson from Benjamin Banneker, 1791, Baltimore County, Maryland, near Ells County Mill, blah, blah, blah. Let's go. Sir, look how he was getting down. Cats couldn't pen a letter like this right now with ChatGPT. Sir, I am fully sensible of the greatness of that freedom which I take with you on the present occasion. Free black man getting it in. Which I take with you on the present occasion. A liberty which seemed to be scarcely allowable. When I reflect on that distinguished and dignified station in which you stand, and the almost general prejudice and prepossession which is so prevalent in the world against those of my complexion. Don DeMarco. I said I'm going to try to make it sound real from now on. Let me see. I suppose it is a truth too well attested to you to need a proof here that we are a race of beings who have long labored under the abuse and censure of the world. That we have long been concerned, That we have long been concerned rather as brutish than human and scarcely capable of mental endowments. That's why he wrote him the almanac. And then he penned this up, bruh. Sir, I hope I may safely admit, in consequence of that report which hath reached me. Let's break that down. In consequence of that report, so he wrote him some bullshit. And he's trying to tiptoe, but he about to check him. So Thomas Jefferson wrote him some bullshit is what I'm getting from this. And in consequence of that report, which have reached me, see, that you are a man far less inflexible in sentiments. I told you. So he got at him with some BS. That you are a man far less flexible in sentiments of this nature. Man, if I could write a letter like this and I'll get it in. This is already high conversation. You feel me? Than many others, then you are measurably. All right, I gotta stop. I gotta go back. Hold up, where we at? Sir, I hope I may safely admit, in consequence of that report which hath reached me, that you are a man far less inflexible in sentiments of this nature than many others, that you are measurably friendly and well disposed towards us, and that you are willing and ready to lend your aid and assistance to our relief. See, you trying to pen a letter for brothers to Thomas Jefferson all the way before anybody you knew. From those many distresses and numerous calamities to which we are reduced. Now, sir, if this is founded in truth, I apprehend you will embrace every opportunity to eradicate that train of absurd and false ideas and opinions, which so generally prevail with respect to us, and that your sentiments are concurrent with mine, and that your sentiments are concurrent with mine, which are that one universal Father hath given between to us all, and that he have not only made us all of one flesh, but that he hath also, without partiality, afforded us all the same sensations and endowments, us all with the same faculties. And that however variable we may be in society or religion, however diverse in situation or color, we are of the same family and stand in the same relation to him. Sir, if these are sentiments of which you are fully persuaded, I hope you cannot but acknowledge that it is an indispensable duty of those who maintain for themselves the right of human nature and who possesses the obligation of Christianity. Stop. Put it back in their face one time. You possess the obligations of Christianity, Christian. See, y'all don't understand what's going on right now. Let me slow it down. Black people at this time, at the time of Benjamin Banneker, were called Africans. White people at the time of Benjamin Banneker were called Christians. Remember that. Try to debunk it. Go on and get your Google. So now he putting it on his head. He ain't nothing but walking like a Christian, talking like a Christian. That's nothing you could do. But he putting the obligation back on the teacher of Christianity, the man who was doing that to him. That it is the indispensable duty of those who maintain for themselves the right of human nature and who possesses the obligations of Christianity to extend their power and influence to the relief of every part of human race. To the relief of every part of the human race, for whatever burden or oppression they may unjustly labor under. And this, I apprehend, a full conviction of the truth and obligation of these principles should lead all to. Sir, I have long been convinced that if your love for yourselves and for those inestimable laws, all right, they messed me up, because I ain't never seen inestimable, so I don't blow past words. Inestimable, but it look inestimable, too great to calculate. This boy was giving bars. You ain't gonna go into this time period find nobody talking about, no, the Lord coming to save us. Right, nothing like this. Sir, I have long been convinced. I'm about to change his whole character right now. Sir, I have long been convinced that if your love for yourselves and for those inestimable laws, dang man, come on, learn how to read, bro. Inestimable. All right, now read it like you know it. Let me see. Sir, I have long been convinced that if your love for yourselves and for those inestimable laws which preserve to you the right of human nature was founded on sincerity, you could not but be solicitous. Whoa, this dude is too raw. I can't even read his smart man. He doing too much smart man. You could not be but solicitous that every individual of whatever rank or distinction might with you enjoy the blessings thereof, whether could you rest satisfied short of the most active diffusions of your exertions. Man, I'm going to remember this and say this to somebody. I swear I'm going to say this to somebody. Remember this, and they going to be like, he walked out the room like a boss. Just remember this part. And it don't even matter if it fit. Just bust out and say, sir, I have long been convinced. But it got to be something that you could have really, it got to be a situation where you could really be long convinced. They're going to be like, what did I just see? Sir, I have long been convinced that if your love for yourselves and for those inestimable, dude, you can get on it, you can just bite this and go to the straight podium and they're going to be roaring, roar, roar. This is bars. I'm not trying to embellish on the workmanship, but I am an orator, and I'm just looking at how well he did this. Like the white man must have been reading this, like, look what the nigga wrote me, boy. Look what the boy wrote. But nah, Thomas Jefferson was really actually hiding these letters. Not to it be revealed the knowledge of the black man. And do you know what? Jefferson was getting hella credit for that at first. See, he tucked him that book on the left. Everything they tell y'all, bro, everything they be saying about the black man who was on the side really doing it and the white man taking credit, well, that manifested in what we know as copyright law. And all these patents and, you know, you could, how a slave gonna patent something? But Benjamin Banneker was not a slave. I was just talking about in other situations. So he slipped him that almanac so that when he was alive, he could walk around thinking he was the man. He knew all the knowledge. I'm talking about Thomas. And then he bartered for black people on the strength of his mental endowments. You feel me? And we can keep going. Sir, I freely and cheerfully acknowledge that I am of the African race. Killing him. Killing him. He didn't say nothing about no Hebrew. Sir, I freely and cheerfully acknowledge that I am of the African race, and in that color which is natural to them of the deepest dye. And it is under the sense of the most profound gratitude to the supreme ruler of the universe. He went Masonic. Oh no. Y'all don't even know. God, y'all don't know how to read this. I mean, I'm not talking about you don't know. Everybody know. Look, he hit him with the supreme ruler, bruh. Told y'all that black guy came in on his head. He hit him with his Christianity, but then he came back and tapped in with the Africana. Sir, so if you tap in with your Africana, maybe you could pen a letter like this. Sir, I freely and cheerfully acknowledge that I am of the African race and in that color which is natural to them, of the deepest dye. And it is under a sense of the most profound gratitude to the supreme ruler of the universe that I now confess to you that I am not under that state of tyrannical thraldom. Boy, I ain't in that, boy. You ain't got me, family. Don Marco. Hey, that boy was like, y'all ain't got me, bruh. And y'all will never have me, bruh. I ain't getting in that stuff. I look up to black men like this. The state of being under control of another person. Man, we need to bring this to the conscious community right here. Say nobody ever said this. So I'm going to say it today. Let me Google it. DEF. When I type DEF, I can normally find some place that'll pronounce it for me.
Thraldom.
Autumn, thraldom. Oh, I'm about to go right around. Let me see.
Thraldom. Thraldom.
I didn't know about no thraldom. Every day you can learn something new. But I'm not up under your tyrannical thraldom. I'm adding tyrannical thraldom to add that to yours too. You can whip it out in America one day. What is this tyrannical thraldom? And walk out the bank. People gonna be like, that boy be dropping lugs. Y'all don't have fun like that in life? So when I was young, I already knew that my rap bars should not only be used for bars, right? And so like when I wanted to court a woman, I would have my bars already. But they don't rhyme because it's a different situation. But I would be prepared and then it would just come rolling off my tongue so slick. I learned that from 8th, 7th grade, my partner Koo. We used to be like, Koo probably in the chat. 3rd grade, 4th grade. If a brother my complexion come in your direction with love and affection and total protection. Who remember saying that after I Need Love came out? We used to sit around the school thinking of bars that would get us right. Be like, will that work? Go see. But that was but anyway, I'm adding tyrannical thraldom to my repertoire. Tyrannical thraldom and inhuman captivity, to which too many of my brethren are doomed, but that I have abundantly tasted of the fruition of those blessings which proceed from that free and unequal liberty with which you are favored, and which I hope you will willingly allow to have received from the immediate hand of that being from whom proceedeth every good and perfect gift. Damn. That bro got bars. He'll eat every rapper out right now. All you gotta do is rhyme every other bar. Look, so let me show you how to bite the Bible. I used to do it for fun. So you just let them bust and add a rhyme in there, right? This gonna be hella funny. I'm gonna show y'all something funny. It goes, sir, I freely and cheerfully acknowledge that I am of the African race, solid, and I am of the color which is natural to them and of the freest, deepest dye. Now, don't really lie. And if you, I'm just saying, that's how you be biting the Bible. You just add a little rhyme and keep going reading with what you're saying. Of the deepest dye, and I'll never lie. And it is under the sense of the most profound gratitude that the fattest dude came through and busted with an attitude of the supreme ruler of the universe. And who was first? That I now confess to you that I am under the... It's just literature. But anyway, I'm off point. What I was trying to say is Benjamin Banneker used information he got from the higher ranks of Freemasonry. And what's up in the higher ranks of Freemasonry? You're not dealing with Christianity no more. All right? So along those lines, we're going to do this right here. And we're gonna let them see how it unfolds for their little silliness and their stupidity. Benjamin Banneker barred him up, put the knowledge out in the forefront. What he really do, he showed certain captive brothers who was like, why that brother ain't in chains like us? It didn't have no effect or nothing. But I bet you somebody somewhere was striving towards knowledge. What happened? Well, let's go in. So let's let Google help us out. 1860 something, when they let black people start reading. What, 1870? 18. When was, it, I asked that question. When was it allowed? When was it? Somebody tell me, man. It was about 1870 when they took away the laws to not let black people read no more. Now let's deal with this. You want to talk about it? It was your brother Nat Turner who had that popping. And I ain't blaming Nat Turner. I rocks with Nat. But don't mess that up. Because first of all, you dumb trying to compare, say Nat Turner did this when it was illegal for black people to read while he was alive, and the only literature you could read was the Bible. What comparison could you pull from that exact time period and show you the writings if it was illegal to read for black people at that time? But in fact, that was Nat Turner's fault. Because he grabbed that Bible, did just like Abraham, heard some voices, and hit the road. Shout out, rest in peace, everything proper to the soldier, Nat Turner. Everything, all good graces. I'm just telling y'all what this is. He used that Bible, and white people all over America after that said, oh, pass a law and don't let black people read no more. Nothing. First, we was just giving them the Bible. So he grabbed the gun, right? And he did something that you could praise, and he went out like a boss, right? But he set us back, though. Am I wrong? Well, they was easing up on that you can't read stuff. Look, do your research. So what you got to say? That we free because of Nat Turner? No, we not free because of Nat Turner. If more people, if that would have happened good, we'd probably be in a black America right now, right? What was that about to lead to? I'm asking. But throughout my whole life and throughout my whole history, I've done nothing but held people with heart like this in honor and in respect. But you just got to be a man and say, just because somebody willing to go out and die, was that the right plan? And what did it do? And how did it help black people after that? After that, for like 60 more years, it was no, for like after that, for like 40 more years, it was laws all over America not to let black people read. Somebody debunked that. So imagine 40 more years of reading. So that Bible could get you messed up too. It could get your people messed up too. Don't talk about the heart to fight if you're going to get beat. The Bible got Nat Turner hung. What is y'all talking about? Like we in a nation. It say right here, led by Nat Turner, the rebels killed between 55 to 65 white people. One dude do that at a club now. If they getting their bars off. And they call it a terrorist attack. So don't just because this is being used in debate, don't overdo it. When you look at things in real life, it is what it is. We use this as an antidote to having heart, bruh. This is an antidote towards having heart and being fearless, not towards executing a plan that helped the people. Nat Turner, y'all tripping. Benjamin Banneker did way more than Nat Turner. And I ain't taking nothing from nobody. Don't even do it. We got to look at history. Somebody will look through history one day and say, Nat Turner did way more than Smashrock will. I ain't tripping. But it's just the fact that you just got to sit them dudes back down with that clownness. So 65 people dead. How the hell black people? Next, you got 30 years of y'all can't touch a book. Would you trade for that? Would you not read for the next 30, 40 years to drop down 65 people in a war? So, really, when we understand Freemasonry and we understand that they have to stand behind the veil of Christianity to even walk through the society, you could go all the way back to Inquisitions, where that came from. You know what I'm saying? Like it came all the way from trying to show you was doing the faith right. And now they still just trying to see certain stuff. Like, oh, is you practicing something else? What? Kemetic knowledge? Oh, please. They would have got hung upside down. So what am I saying? I'm saying there was some secret places where they was talking about ancient Egypt and stuff. Yes, we got all the evidence. And we got all the evidence and we see all the people who let us know that was really going on. Because you see people who had access to certain works that you shouldn't be able to have access to. They must have had, I don't know. I don't know if that's confusing to me. But what I just said confused myself. So it might have confused you too. I thought somebody wanted to say something. So I put that up there. Grab me some water real quick. And then I need some, I'm about to take some allergy. Don't hit that link. Let's get a nice little bill popping. There's always more to talk about because I started talking about, what did I hit him with? The ancient Egyptian order, the ancient Egyptian Arabic order. The ancient Egyptian Arabic order. Okay. Hold on. I need to look this up. What y'all doing in the desert of California? I might have to message y'all. No, I'm just saying, but what y'all doing in the deserts, though? Deserts of California? Buy some land out there, boy. Use that Mason money, boy. Yeah, definitely Nat was an archer. I rocks with Nat. I told you, we got to have our stories right. Nat's story is a story we teach our children about having that fearless black man heart. That's not no story about how the Bible helped black people. He got hung. Now, we was talking about, name one organization today that's on some comedic stuff, that's doing stuff for the black people. Weeby. I'll be like, shut up. Why y'all let them dudes move around y'all when they all underlings to somebody named General Yohana? Like they pay dues, bruh. They getting scammed by a fat boy. They paying his mortgage. You think you can rock with me? Man, let me show you something. I need my water. I'm dry mouth over here. Hold on. No, I'm just gonna. For real though. Ain't nobody went in on that. Y'all tripping. These fools paying General Yohana mortgage through straight dues, and they got the nerve to get in your face and talk about Kemet. Please. I'll be right back. I'm gonna roast them fools. Hold on.
Upper age boy, got that white crown. Upper age boy. Babylonian bars, you can really spit it, get it, dagger on me. That harpoon, it ain't for abalone. Phoenician pieces made of Nubian gold. Antediluvian scrolls hit the Dubian poles. And if you wanna debate that, you'll get truly exposed. I'm like the king of Axum, bring the maxims of Patar back to action. I actually swing my axe, so Y-axis, 32 degrees west on the Y-axis. Try and catch us. Christianity was stole from Kemet, lying. Compare the book of Psalms to Aminope. Sometimes I'm rhyming, I'm just like a shaman, okay?
Some sound alright, but then they act silly. Like conquering my crown, and that's really very silly. Like conquering my crown, and that's really very silly.
I'm a star charting Bantu boy with my bow and arrow. I raise a king in my gnome if I don't know the pharaoh. Explosive and lethal when your dreams like Joseph the Hebrew. And no sending evil wide jet and neck bent. Here to ward that off, I'm not a sage burner. Scroll learner, the page turner. The script writer, put the pen down cause I don't need it. Cause I got the white crown, the upper I rock the white crown, say top shimmer. You rock the red crown, say top metal. You rock the white crown, say top shimmer. You rock the red crown, say top metal.
Some sound alright, but then they act silly. Like conquering my crown, and that's really very silly. Like conquering my crown, and that's really very silly.
I'm a C group, Madjai Archer, from Ta-Nehisi. You conscious community pseudos never try to test me. As I'm in Rock Squad up. Religion, and when I'm on the mic, don't cut my wisdom, boy. I'm W.E.B. Du Bois. I'll smother you under the Sphinx, heed the voice. Ancestrally cooking up mean lyrics. Cats fighting cause they don't think the Dogon that seems serious. And DNA can't prove ethnicity. How you conscious? You say Pacific instead of specifically. You know my so raw, you get crushed. Think the force of a hippo jaw. I rock the white crown, say top shimu. You rock the red crown, say top mehu. You rock the white crown, say top shimu. You rock the red crown, say top mehu.
Some sound alright, but then they act silly. Like conquering my crown.
Them boys tripping. Shout out to the ISUPK homeowners. Shout out to the ISUPK homeowners club. Cause they divvy them dues up right. I'm talking about? Yup. I ain't never paying no dues to no fat jail nigga. Fuck I look like. Talking about God. Fuck out of here, nigga. Niggas a gangster laughed that nigga out the room. Fat ass out of here, nigga. Dudes. Anyway, I want one of them motherfuckers to act like they ready to see the Madjai. That's why they know they're not, because they're going to just get whacked 100 it all off the building. Ancient Egyptian Arabic order of the noble mystic shrine. Initiatives for black people all over right now. They just ain't on street corners with looking hella dumb, with dressed like Bible times and shit, looking really mentally retarded. Like really. I'll be wondering, man, damn, and y'all teaching kids that type of shit. Talking about you don't like Africans, you like some of the dumbest niggas in the world. Fake hard niggas, but they on some Bible shit. I'd be laughing. That's why them motherfuckers ain't around here. Have you noticed that? Them motherfuckers don't be around here. I mean, right now, I'm in the country. Nobody be around here. You a grown man. You go where you want. You don't go where they make you go. But yeah, let's get back to some business. Because, I mean, this is based on Kemet. And it's just to illustrate what I was telling us about when some of us get up in them higher ranks of Freemasonry, even though this is all ranks, all of their ranks is based on Kemet. Black fraternity. Now you can even go into some of the Greek fraternities because that's how they gave it to them as Greeks. Because they got it through the white man system. But when some of them brothers got it, they put their Kemetic twist on it. And we be all mad, oh, they black Greeks. Okay, that's cool, but not all of them did the all the way black Greek thing. Some of them indeed did the black, they tried to go the African route. And so I'm not no Shriner. I don't got nothing to do with them. I don't boast them. I don't know if what they're doing is ultimately good or bad, but I don't fall for the conspiracy shit. That shit played out. They definitely not the Illuminati. The Illuminati wouldn't even let them in. Stop it. He gonna get an Illuminati right there? Cut it out. He might get an Illuminati. But my point is, this is structure, programs, initiatives, okay? This ain't just Kemet manifests real things. Show me where Kemet got people screaming aggressively towards men and women in the street, telling kids they don't love Africans. Tell me where Kemet told you to go mix body butter in the bathtub and pay dues to another man. Kemet would never let you do that. There's no Kemet text that say mix body butter in the bathtub and pay dues to fat blood. Never seen that text. I haven't. So lay back off Egypt. You feel me? Latest news and updates. Like I said, I'm not. Imperial's trying to mentor us. So they trying to get him in the mix. What happened when you get in the mix? Y'all tell me. What's the good or the bad? I know most of them I be seeing don't be having no knowledge anyway, and I'm only on the quest for knowledge. So anybody ever came at me with that stuff, I've been like, hell no. You feel me? So really, honestly, yeah, me personally, I'm just giving y'all a debate rebuttal to some of the nonsense that's acting like, what could this information do for us? You got to understand this pyramids on the back of the U.S. dollar. You know what I'm saying? And then I just start reading from the book of Ptahotep so we can see things that we can use today in our actual life. Using your actual everyday life. You know what I'm saying? Then Shaka, I could have took either side of that debate. I could have slapped up to Zarya or helped him out. Either or. He probably feel this, I'm talking my shit. I don't got no bad feelings for Tazaria. But when he talk shit, when he do his think he like a big dog on the block, put me on there, man. Y'all need somebody to defend Kemet. I'll put him right where he need to be. Embarrass that boy. He gonna click off. He gonna walk out like Nazi Chevelle, bro. They just know when they got y'all soft niggas like Shaka. Shaka, you can't mask your soft with all that fan and shit. Cause it don't look, it ain't natural. Men know, you can't mask that soft ass shit you be doing with them flamboyant outbursts. Motherfuckers see through that shit. At the house, smoking they blunt, laughing like, am I tripping? Or is he doing this on the TV screen? But now, I'm being to myself. Let me get back to, this. I'm letting my thoughts out too much. Let me just chill. Fine. Now, so they busted their wig with that, right? But if you thought it stopped there, it didn't even start there, man. You want to go to who you want to go to? So first, see, everybody couldn't talk about Kemet on the top side. But they had to fight on the down low because they wasn't supposed to know about it, a lot of them. So I don't want to skip up Denali. I ain't gonna do him like that. D-N-L-E-Y, huh? Yeah. Delaney. I said Denali. Delaney. Yeah, I said Denali. Do 1812 to 1885. Illegal for black men to read. Yeah, he was an American abolitionist. Martin Delaney. All right. Abolitionists. Producing abolitionist literature at the times when it was illegal for black people to read and write. All right. Wonderful black man. Just like the last one we just seen on the screen. In his works, what do we find? Huh? Let's see if Wiki gonna tell you. Wiki probably ain't gonna want to tell you. So we gonna show. Let's see if they tell you. Martin Delaney tapping in on the ancient Egyptian knowledge and science before the glyphs was done being. Well, no, I can't say before the glyphs because I gotta look at when his book was written. But right in the time, like I said, 1840s, we got Delaney. I always open up a Zoom when I'm talking my shit because I know niggas be in the bushes. They meet I'm looking for something in particular. It ain't gonna be nothing but a clown show. Let me see. So I can just tell you, as we know, that Martin Delaney was on that metal nature. Surprised he didn't. They don't say that in this article. They might. Yes, he was. Okay. Now they say he was the only black officer who received the rank of major during the Civil War. Major Delaney. All while he was doing this, guess what he was thinking about? Look, I need you to see that, man. We can't make that big. How big? Yeah, there we go. This brother, he was thinking about war, but the free time on the back of his mind, guess what he was thinking about? You don't see that Nubian? Come on, man, they getting it right. This ain't just no American portrayal, is it? Another brother back there. This brother right here was thinking about Kemet, Egypt. And how we was from there. That's what he was on. All right? But they had to tie it in with the Bible stories because that's what was going on at the time. But he wasn't saying we the Hebrews. So his contribution is leading over 150 men in war. 150,000, excuse me, men in war. Besides other contributions. 150,000. No, they said they recruited 150,000. I was like, that's a lot of men. Let's go back up. It said 150,000, but they said when they drafted or recruited 150,000 colored men, not he led that many. So apparently, excuse me, they don't want to say nothing about apparently they don't want to say nothing about him talking about Kemet. But I'll show you. See, it said 179. During the recruitment, 179,000 black men enlisted, and almost 10% all who served in the Union Army. So the senior Delaney wrote to the Secretary of War, Edwin Snedden, requesting that he make efforts to command all of the effective black men as agents of the United States. That's the type of moves that you start busting when you get that Kemetic knowledge. You write letters to the top of all shit. Well, maybe y'all ain't tapped in on it right. But I see while I'm over here on my hike, though. Because everybody I'm reading, they sending their letters to the tippity top saying they want to do it all. That's part of that Kemeticism. None of these dudes is paying dues and making body butters. And oils called scandalous and shit. What? Nigga, I'm talking like I talk. Care what y'all niggas call it. He wasn't. He wasn't. He was getting that real paper. Shit. Now, in early 1865, Delaney was granted oh no, I wasn't reading this. I was just clowning. So we're gonna go back to where? We're trying to find them say something about Egypt. So they're not gonna say nothing to you about it. So let me show you. All you gotta do is go look at this, read his books. All right, well, let me see. Now they talking about Delaney's writings in The Origins and Objects of Ancient Freemasonry, its introduction into the United States and legitimacy amongst colored men. Interestingly enough, but I want to go back and see. I want to go see if I can find something. Is this article? This dude was a boss. Delaney made his mark as a doctor. How old is this? This ain't what I was looking for. It's 1995. Well, all you got to do. How about if I type ancient Egypt after his name? Brother's been on this hype for a while. Martin Delaney. Oh, this is from Ankh Online. But they got some good stuff. So who is Ankh Online? Mario Beatty. Shout out to Mario Beatty. Word up. Yep. Mario Beatty. Do that homework. So I want to see if he talked. Mario Beatty will tell you how he talked about Kemet, Delaney, and Egyptology. So just go read this work because I don't want to get too caught up on that. We found the good work on it that anybody can tap into. Hit the link. Hit the link. I'm not hostile. I'll just be talking shit. Hit the link. In addition to his political activities, Delaney also, I want to see where yeah, here we go. Now, the purpose of this paper seeks to present a philological and historical examination of his efforts to translate Egyptian hieroglyphs. All right? Shit. Yeah. What does fool say? Man, I don't need to tell y'all no more about Delaney. I'm just gonna tell y'all how all the secret Freemasons, I ain't calling them a Mason either, but I'm showing you some of these people who you thought was like chief Christian, and you thought you could use probably, I don't know if you could use their achievements or not, but what you find out is they was into things that they couldn't talk about out loud, but you see it all in their writings. How did this soldier from the 1800s had the knowledge to start trying to translate the hieroglyphs? Black man. Martin Delaney. Now we're going to skip up to your partner. We ain't even got to go this far, but we're going to go to W.E.B. who? Du Bois. But you ain't going to really trip off him until you see his letters to who? Flinders. See, they can't talk about this out loud. That's why you don't know about it. That's why you get bodied in a debate. Karate body. Letter from Sir William Matthews, Flinders, Petrie to W.E.B. Du Bois. See, when all you pseudo-menudos are some squares, because this is what happened. That whole pharaonic invading race theory, as soon as Du Bois heard it, he hopped right out his seat. He wouldn't even let Flinders Petrie live concerning Kemet. But that was just between him and Flinders Petrie. So people don't know Du Bois was banging on Flinders Petrie, calling him dumb in the name of black people being from Kemet. Did you know that? So what has Du Bois contributed? Because he was on that Kemetic stuff. But people don't know that. So let's read this letter from Flinders back to Du Bois. Now look, this is Sir William Matthew Flinders Petrie getting back at Du Bois, but we need to find those initial letters from Bois to Petrie. Dear Sir, I write to thank you for having said that all that you have in the soul of black folk. I write to thank you for having said all you have in soul of black folk. Everything he said in the book Soul of Black Folk, or whatever the article. I have long awaited to grasp the Negro problem, and your prudent, balanced statement is very helpful. As I am a stranger, I must say what my point of view is. He was getting at these boys. Now look at this. It is as an anthropologist and historian, my work for over 30 years has been digging up the civilization in Egypt. Many years ago, when president and the anthropological section of British North British Association, I made native races the subject of that meeting, insisting on the iniquity of crushing lower civilizations by European natives. Later, I did the Huxley lecture on migrations, mapping the movements from the 0 AD to 1000 AD in Europe. The subjects of race mix, this is him responding to Du Bois or getting at Du Bois, because Du Bois was like, bro, you tripping. And they talk about, now, well, let's just keep going. You can see what they're talking about. The subject of race mixture is a special interest to me, and only this autumn I was addressing London's journalists on the subject by request. Excuse my saying so much, just to show you my standpoint. It is that of native culture and rights without European uniformity. You hear that? That's coming from Flinders Petrie. Now, I think it would be helpful to look at other cases which have some parallels to the USA problem. All right, so this is him talking about a USA. I want to go and talk about, I want to see what Du Bois is getting at. If you read Du Bois getting at Flinders, let's go. What does this say? What does this say? Can somebody read that for their own brain so that you won't just be getting it from my voice? This is W.E.B. Du Bois, A New Voice in Egyptology's Disciplinary History. Written by Vanessa Davies. Okay. We didn't know he was a voice. Are you Jonathan Owens, who wrote An Efficient Targeted Radiotherapy? Yeah, I wrote that a long time ago. I don't wish I was. Let me see, University of Davis, the World of Africa. Well, Du Bois argued for Egyptologists. Is she going to tell you? Because it's like W.E. Du Bois, Educations in Archaeology in Egypt. She got to tell you. Oh, this is gonna go way too long though. But you know how I do. I'll do a whole lecture.
Among the scholars and writers.
We're gonna just do her first beginning. Watch she break your leg. I ain't even never seen this.
I've been thinking a long time about the impact that ancient Egypt has on us, and I pay very close attention when I see people, for instance, wearing earrings that are Ankh signs, or wearing a t-shirt with a bust of Nefertiti or a funerary mask of Tutankhamun. And I drive around the East Bay of California, and I take pictures of murals when I find ancient Egyptian iconography in them. And I think about all of this. I think about how, for many people, ancient Egyptian culture factors into our conceptions of who we are and what our cultural heritage is. And
let's stop. So it's cool for ancient Egyptian culture to factor into who she is and what her cultural heritage is. But when we do it, we some fools. Now, not to be belittling her, she was talking about us as a culture, just humans, and she wasn't talking racially. But still, we the ones who commit that problem. So let me see.
And in the US, this often has a racial aspect to it. So I began looking at receptions of ancient Egypt in early 20th century America, and I've uncovered many conversations about ancient Egypt among the scholars and writers of that time. And knowing the connections between W.B. Du Bois and Harvard, I thought this would be an ideal place to talk to you about a set of letters that were exchanged between Du Bois and a British Egyptologist by the name of W.M.F. Petrie, who's also known as Flinders Petrie. And in these letters, they discuss matters relating to race, past and present, and education. These letters are important for understanding the rich and complex history of the discipline of Egyptology, and these letters have important resonances for us today in relation to scientific inquiry, how we address social issues, and in terms of our humanism, recognizing the essential humanity in all people and broadening our perspectives to consider other people's points of view. So first, I want to give you a little bit about each man's background and tell you how they came to know each other, and then we'll discuss the actual correspondence itself.
Y'all want to skip to the
Egyptologists
correspondence?
are very familiar with Petrie because he invented the science of archaeology as it's now practiced in Egyptology. He is a giant in our field and in the field of ancient Mediterranean studies in general. Petrie was a prolific author. He wrote many, many scholarly volumes. He wrote an autobiography that was published in 1931, and a student of his wrote a biography of him that came out in 1985. So we know a tremendous amount about Petrie, about his work, about his thoughts, about the things that happened to him in his life, but nowhere in these sources does he mention the letters that I will be talking to you about today. So most Egyptologists...
I keep telling you, they hid this stuff, y'all. This was Masonic letters from Mason to Mason. They wasn't put... Du Bois wasn't supposed to talk about this, and Petrie wasn't supposed to talk about this. But while y'all on the front line beating up Kemet, brothers is on the back. No, cats in Du Bois time, cats in the street getting beat left and right. Just like now, but worse. Hung from trees, worse. And all the public initiatives we know that Du Bois did to help black people, he's still fighting on the back end when Flinders Petrie tried to steal Egypt from Africa. Who hopped up and put hands on that boy? Du Bois. That's why I tell him I'm W.E.B. Du Bois, because y'all be taught by some suckers not to like your predecessors. Could you do that? Could you go to Harvard and all these schools in the height of racism? Cats can't even do it right now. But be shitting on these dudes. Cats is, that's how you know true suckers. Because you don't give no props to people who clearly got further than you. You gotta just be more respectful than that. And we be forgetting respect is about how we want to be treated ultimately. So why be shitting on people unless you want to get shitted on? That's why I shit on niggas who be shitting on people.
Are unaware that Petrie and Du Bois had a friendly professional relationship, and that in the first few months of 1912, they exchanged a series of very interesting letters. Petrie was born in London. His first major archaeological work involved surveying and measuring various monuments in England. In 1880, a London-based organization called the Egypt Exploration Fund asked Petrie to go to Giza to measure and map the tombs and pyramids on the Giza Plateau. The Egypt Exploration Fund still operates today out of London. Now they're known as the Egypt Exploration Society. Petrie quickly moved from surveying and measuring to also excavating ancient sites, and his careful methodologies became the basis of a new scientific discipline of Egyptian archaeology. And these included actually excavating material as opposed to just ripping artifacts out of the ground, but also documenting his work, drawing and photographing all of his finds, and publishing the results of his fieldwork. Petrie was unusual among archaeologists of his day because he cared not just for the finely carved and painted statues and stelae that appealed to wealthy donors and to collectors, but Petrie recorded and tracked all finds, so things like ceramic cooking dishes and reed mats and little beads, objects that other researchers would discard. The images you see here are drawings that Petrie published in 1890 from one of his excavations. In the top corner here, where the 18 and 19 are, those are sinkers made of limestone or lead. They would be attached to fishing nets to weigh them down.
Hold on.
And then moving across the slide. And here is Petrie, that first year that he was working in Egypt in 1880. He's standing outside of the rock cut. Du Bois had a liberal arts style of education at Fisk University and at Harvard. He had a completely different perspective on education than Petrie did.
Press pause. Oh, they dumb clean in that. Oh, they so clean in that picture. How they that clean? Really though, I gotta snip this right here. They so fitted. Hold on. Now, think about the times. That's all I'm saying. She was over there doing her thing. And her in the middle, oh, they was doing their thing. You see? The boys had it going down. Who was the other dude? Man, they wasn't playing, y'all. Y'all tripping, bro. They trying to do it the best way. Golly, why we hating on people? But her over here touching here was ready, though. She looking good. No disrespect. I'm saying this beautiful sisters. Look. Killed them. The voice was ready.
Du Bois had been exposed to many disciplines and to different approaches to both asking and solving questions. Petrie left England in his late 20s to work in Egypt and lived and worked there for many years. Du Bois also had a culturally immersive experience, but his was in Germany, where he lived and studied from 1892 to 1894. There, Du Bois lived a life devoid of the racial prejudice.
I had to stop. They probably made them dresses, y'all. Think about it. We lost that skill, too. They probably made everything they got on, bro. Let's keep going.
And racial discriminations that he experienced in the U.S. He was treated by Germans in ways radically different from what he had become accustomed to in the U.S. And that distance, both physically and culturally, led him to see the U.S. in a new light. In Germany, he was influenced by the detailed scientific research of his professors, people like the economists Gustav Schmoller and Adolf Wagner, who devised and recommended solutions for social problems based on statistical analysis, the accumulation of historical and contemporary facts, and questions of ethics. So let me tell you how these two men crossed paths. Early in Du Bois's career, he had an idea to put together an Encyclopedia Africana. This would be a kind of companion or counter.
What? Encyclopedia Hebrew? See, we be playing, y'all. We be actually playing ourselves. Like, all of it is useful to me in my wise mind, but in my battle mind, I will crush out all that little weak shit. Ain't nothing in the Bible gonna prevail over Kemet. Like, stop it. Just stop it.
Counterpoint to the Encyclopedia Britannica. His plan was to assemble an editorial board and an advisory board. And when we look at a copy of the letterhead for the Encyclopedia Africana, who do we find as the second name on the board of advisors but Flinders Petrie? Du Bois had secured the assistance of Petrie on the Encyclopedia project in 1909.
So let's stop. There y'all go. Y'all don't know about that part too? Who don't know about that part? He got to make something pop, bro. Let's get something popping. Let's engage in some activity that is transactable. And then let's straighten these things out. We need to straighten out.
In the last week of July 1911, Du Bois attended a conference at the University of London called the Universal Races Congress. The Universal Races Congress was intended to encourage understanding, friendship, and cooperation between people of the East and people of the West, or as the organizers wrote, the quote, so-called white and so-called colored peoples. The organizers of the Congress wanted to facilitate universal peace by pointing out ideas such as anti-miscegenation that were based on faulty science, and by challenging what they called the inertia of the uninformed human mind. I've assembled images of some of the speakers here so you can get a sense of who attended this conference. Starting at the top left, you have people from Haiti and China. The third man in the top row here is Gustav Spiller. He was one of the organizers of the Congress. There are two women on this slide. There were actually more than two women who spoke on the Congress, but only two made it to my slide. We have Sister Nivedita here, who was a social worker and author living in India, and here Dr. Carolyn Reese-Davids, who is a specialist in Buddhist studies. You have Franz Boas up here next to a man from South Africa. You have these two gentlemen who I put side by side, one from India, one from Germany, and I just thought they looked so identical to each other with their long beards. So you have people from Turkey, Japan, France, Russia, Egypt, Brazil, India, Persia, and of course, Du Bois. Du Bois gave a talk at the Congress entitled The Negro Race in the United States of America, which summarized the history, demographics, and social issues of people of African descent in the US. Petrie did not give a talk at the Congress, nor was he listed among the supporters of the Congress, which did include a few Egyptologists, and also included, I should note, F.W. Putnam of the Peabody Museum. So Petrie was not on that list, nor did he give a talk, but he must have attended the Congress. Years later, Du Bois wrote a letter to...
I'm letting them play too long. They're doing too much. I'm trying to open this allergy medicine too, so let it play. Hold up.
A professor at Fisk, recounting that he had discussed the encyclopedia in 1911 with Petrie and with others at the Congress in London. And it makes sense that Petrie would be at the Congress. He was, after all, a professor at the University of London. And the Congress happened in July, when Petrie would have been in England, not excavating in England. Petrie wrote Du Bois a letter on January 3rd, 1912. The letter begins with his appreciation for Du Bois's book because Petrie wrote he has, quote, long wanted to grasp the Negro problem, and your prudent, balanced statement is very helpful. Petrie went on to explain his point of view as an archaeologist and a historian, as an Englishman who had been living and working in Egypt by that time for over 3 decades. Petrie used Du Bois's metaphor of the veil to discuss the difference between, as he put it, the native and the English. Petrie reported that despite dramatic differences in the social realities in the US and Egypt, namely that there was no recent history of slavery in Egypt like there was in the US, and that there was no discrimination in Egypt based on skin color, or at least none that was visible to Petrie.
Somebody come in the chat and I'm going to have to start researching how to get some money, man. Feel me?
He wrote that there was, in his experience, still very little social interaction in Egypt between educated Egyptians and educated Europeans. And in addition, Petrie knew of only 3 marriages between an English person and an Egyptian person.
Because my banker, not my banker partner, but I got some information that I'm just going over. Trying to get to it. I don't want to hear I ain't even listening no more. I'm playing it for people.
So Petrie posed to Du Bois the question, how could the US achieve an integrated society when a place like Egypt cannot, even though Egypt lacks the complex social factors that are present in the US? Petrie wrote that he himself is not so inclined, but his conclusion, which again borrowed Du Bois's metaphor, was that, quote, the English race all over the world insists on the veil.
This was a correspondence back and forth between them, and it appears she's only showing Petrie's letter. Petrie to Du Bois. So I was looking for Du Bois to Petrie. I think this is it. No. Excuse me. That's when he, dang, man, this stuff get with me. That's when he, this is still the same letter. She don't got the other letter. Look at this. Uh-oh. What's that? I'm going to just let it end on that. Hold on. What's that right there? Let's go. I'm going to let her go.
To make people, we must have ideals. Those ideals he defined as broad, pure, and inspiring ends of living. Now, Du Bois didn't mean pure from the standpoint of genetic purity, but this is the word that occurred to him, a word that was floating around in the science of his day, a word that resonated with discussions of race and eugenics. This is a good example of the innocence and power of words. Du Bois used purity here in a positive way, but this word has a latent power. In someone else's hands, this language of purity might be wielded like a weapon. It might become less innocent, more dangerous. But I have another example for you. The focus on physical features that dominated some of Petrie's work can also be seen in the crisis. This is a masthead of the crisis that was adopted in November 1911. So just when Petrie was leaving England for Egypt, only to be shortly interrupted by the unexpected hernia operation, this new visual element appeared on the front cover. It is clearly an Egyptianizing image, and it's based on the ancient depiction of the winged sun disk, which you see at the bottom. This new masthead substituted the sun disk with an image that would be more meaningful to readers, the head of a king, as identified by the false beard and the headdress that he wears. And look, by focusing on physical features in the same way that Petrie did, this image assigns the king a black identity. The closely drawn vertical lines on the king's face and neck give his skin a darker shade than the surrounding images, like the feathers with their internal white space.
So Du Bois was on that black Egypt.
The crisis was billed as the record of the darker races, and this king is clearly of a darker race. There's a lot going on in this image that relates to the science and to the history of Du Bois's day. This new cover image reflected the interest of Du Bois in the history of ancient Egypt and ancient Nubia. As Wilson Jeremiah Moses of Penn State put it, Du Bois's interest in ancient Egypt stemmed from Du Bois's recognition that the ancient culture was one of power and authority, and that's what we're seeing.
What? They didn't say shit about Israel. Let's go back.
Du Bois's day, this new cover image reflected the interest of Du Bois in the history of ancient Egypt and ancient Nubia. As Wilson Jeremiah Moses of Penn State put it, Du Bois's interest in ancient Egypt stemmed from Du Bois's recognition that the ancient culture was one of power and authority, and that's what we're seeing here, power and authority. Who embodies power and authority? The king. And who is that king? The king is shown through his physical features to be a black man. This image expressed Du Bois's view that these ancient people of Egypt and Nubia were of African descent, and that people of African descent had a lineage of power. This image is representative of Du Bois's efforts to write histories of Africa, to write histories about people who at that time, in Du Bois's day, were being told that they had no history, that Africa had no history. But there's more. Even the type of image chosen reflects Du Bois's scientific training. In searching for a masthead that would connect the ancient cultures of Egypt and Nubia with people of African descent in America, Du Bois didn't pick a romantic watercolor. He didn't pick a photograph. Du Bois bolstered his image.
What was he trying to do? Connect the people of ancient Egyptian and Nubian descent with African Americans in America? Oh, y'all be acting like that's pseudo. I dare you to say Du Bois pseudo. You will never reach that level of knowledge. And we got so much more information. It's crazy.
Du Bois's scientific training. In searching for a masthead that would connect the ancient cultures of Egypt and Nubia with people of African descent in America, Du Bois didn't pick a romantic watercolor. He didn't pick a photograph. Du Bois bolstered his image of power and authority in the hands of an African king by depicting it in a scientific drawing, an epigraphic line drawing, one dark color on a light background. This is a type of scientific recording of ancient decoration that by 1911 had been practiced for over a century by scholars and travelers who went up and down the Nile recording the decoration in ancient tombs and temples. And these scientific epigraphic line drawings have a special place at Harvard with Peter Manuelian, who is a pioneer in Egyptology in the field of digital epigraphy. Besides operating within the constraints of the scientific world of their day, there was something else that Du Bois and Petrie shared, and that was central to both of their personalities. They were activists. In the tradition of his German professors, who sought to address the social problems of their communities, Du Bois used his scientific training to address the problems of race relations in the US. Petrie used the scientific method that
That's still good. I still listen, so come on.
he devised to address problems with the archaeological practice of his day. In a piece he wrote on the ethics of archaeology, Petrie cataloged behaviors that he described as a crime, a failing, and an inexcusable malpractice. And these included not making maps while excavating and not publishing one's fieldwork. He railed against damage that was being done to the decorated wall scenes, sites that were just dug up and not properly conserved, artifacts that were left to decay in museums without being preserved, and museum displays that were not properly organized and not labeled. He argued that governments should enact laws to protect the integrity of sites and to deter the illicit theft and sale of antiquities. But within this ethical framework, Petrie nowhere mentioned the rights of archaeological laborers. In his zeal to protect the ancient past of Egypt, he neglected the very workers who aided him in his work. Petrie's activism for a scientific archaeological method contrasted sharply with Du Bois's use of a scientific method to be an activist for humans. That's the overarching difference that separates the worldviews of Petrie and Du Bois, their focus. Archaeology in the case of Petrie, other human beings in the case of Du Bois. Their diverging outlooks are clearly demonstrated when they speak of the importance of history. For Petrie, the growing interest in history and archaeology, as distinguished from treasure hunting, signaled that humans had reached the pinnacle of development. In his formulation, humans first showed an interest in each other, then an interest in animals, and finally, by his day, he perceived that humans had achieved the highest point, an interest in the past. Petrie was quite complacent about the world as it was in his day. You can tell that he was comfortable in his life. You can tell that he was a member of the dominant culture group. He doesn't express concerns about anything related to the functioning of the societies that he lived and worked in. His was an...
All right, man. Because I just started thinking about Shaka Amos. I'm sorry, Shaka, that I just started thinking about you. That's what happens. And I'm over here with having an allergy attack, so you lucky. I'm going to let her play.
Imperialistic vision of history expressed in evolutionary terms. Du Bois's attitude towards history in these early decades of the 20th century was quite different. He wrote the histories of Africa and of people of African descent with an urgency. Historiography was about communicating knowledge, yes, but for Du Bois it was also empowering, both personally, on a psycho-emotional level, and politically. Du Bois was fighting against those who claimed that Africans had no history. In contradiction to that theory, Du Bois wrote about Africa as a locus from which many histories are launched. In the case of ancient Egypt, he discussed its influence not as the usual Western story of reception through ancient Greek and Roman cultures, but rather the ancient Egyptian people as connecting the people of Asia and other people in Africa, and Egypt as a connector zone between those two areas. Du Bois's innovative perspective on ancient Egypt is analogous to Petrie's radically new consideration of the detritus of daily life. At a time when archaeologists did not value the items of everyday life, things like pottery and reed mats, Petrie used them to construct new views of history, something beyond and different from the histories that are recounted in the carved and painted texts and art of the elite. Du Bois also constructed new views of history, something different from the culturally dominant white historical perspective in the West. And where Petrie saw an interest in the past as important for the lives of the dead people who are studied, because scholars make them live again, Du Bois saw interest in the past as important for living people. Knowledge of the history of people of African descent, their contributions to world culture, their stories, their sense of longevity in the world, this would give people of African descent in America a new perspective on their lives. They could see that their contemporary living conditions were just one way of living and that there were other possibilities, other lives that people of African descent had lived. Du Bois researched and wrote new visions of African history to provide people of African descent with hope for the present, because the past had potency in the present.
So hold on.
The past gave authority.
She trying to say that Du Bois was trying to hook all that Egypt and Africa up with Americans? Is he pseudo?
Perspective in the West. And where Petrie saw an interest in the past as important for the lives of the dead people who are studied, because scholars make them live again, Du Bois saw interest in the past as important for living people. Knowledge of the history of people of African descent, their contributions to world culture, their stories, their sense of longevity in the world, this would give people of African descent in America a new perspective on their lives. They could see that their contemporary living conditions were just one way of living and that there were other possibilities, other lives that people of African descent had lived. Du Bois researched and wrote new visions of African history to provide people of African descent with hope for the present, because the past had potency in the present. The past gave authority, purpose, and strength to those in the present because it could give people a new perspective on themselves and on the world. Du Bois was a proponent of a liberal arts style of education because he knew that this was an effective way of seeing life from perspectives other than your own. Du Bois and others of his era pushed for the recognition of the historical and current contributions that people of African descent made and were making in the world. Because people of African descent were being pushed to the side, they were being marginalized by some scientists, by some historians, and by some Egyptologists. And so scholars like Du Bois looked to Egyptology and to the leading Egyptologists of their day.
Huh? Du Bois looked to Egyptology? Dang, I could have swore that I was going to say he looked to some Hebrewism in order to do great things, like they be saying.
New perspective on themselves and on the world. Du Bois was a proponent of a liberal arts style of education because he knew that this was an effective way of seeing life from perspectives other than your own. Du Bois and others of his era pushed for the recognition of the historical and current contributions that people of African descent made and were making in the world. Because people of African descent were being pushed to the side, they were being marginalized by some scientists, by some historians, and by some Egyptologists. And so scholars like Du Bois looked to Egyptology and to the leading Egyptologists of their day to concur with some opinions and to dissent from others. Scholars like Du Bois fought back. They fought back against claims that the people of African descent had no history and that the history of Egypt was not a part of African history but was a part of white history. They fought back and they won. Those claims have been debunked.
Huh? Hold on.
But more.
See? This the part where y'all need to really, really take a clip. Matter of fact, let me take that clip. Clips. How you make a clip real quick? Supposed to let me make a clip.
Needs to be done. It's vital that we understand the complexity and the diversity of the history of Egyptology as an academic discipline. We need to rediscover Egyptology as an of the history, complexity, and the needs to be done.
Here we go.
It's vital that we understand the complexity and the diversity of the history of Egyptology as an academic discipline. We need to rediscover and remember stories like the ones I've talked about today, and we need to incorporate those into our histories of Egyptology. It's vital that we It's vital that we understand the complexity and the diversity of the history of Egyptology as an academic discipline. We need to rediscover and remember stories like the ones I've talked about today, and we need to incorporate those into our histories of Egyptology. Magan Keita of Villanova wrote about a kind of academic gatekeeping, or as he put it, who has the right, who is privileged to participate in the think of people like Flynn. It's vital that we understand the complexity and the diversity of the history of Egyptology as an academic discipline. We need to rediscover and remember stories like the ones I've talked about today, and we need to incorporate those into our histories of Egyptology. Magan Keita of Villanova wrote about a kind of academic gatekeeping, or as he put it, who has the right, who is privileged to participate in the construction of both history and knowledge. I'm here to say that it is imperative that when we think of participate in the construction of both.
Let's see.
I'm here to say that it is imperative that when we think of the history of Egyptology, when we think of people like Flinders Petrie and George Reisner of Harvard, James Henry Breasted of the University of Chicago, we should also include with these individuals scholars like W.B. Du Bois, who challenged the dominant discourse of their day and who provided correctives to erroneous views that Egyptologists held. It took some time for their alternative perspectives to be accepted. These are correctives that are. I'm here to say that in Egyptology, but these are correct. It took some time for their alternative perspectives to be accepted within Egyptology, but these are correctives that are now taken seriously and that forever changed the way that the history of ancient Egypt and ancient Nubia is understood. As someone who studies ancient Egypt,
man, I can't even find it, forget it, but y'all, I know it's in the 40s. So look, now y'all heard what she's saying, right? And I'm glad that we listened to it over and over and over again. Because what she said is what I be telling everybody every day, dude. They changed the old theories of breasted. So cats who ain't in the field, they be like, let me start looking at this Egyptology stuff because I think they lying. They be like, I think they lying. Then they go just look at some old-ass European books that are being debunked.
being marginalized by some scientists, by some historians, and by some Egyptologists. And so scholars like Du Bois looked to Egyptology and to the leading Egyptologists of their day to concur with some opinions and to dissent from others. Scholars like Du Bois fought back. They fought back
so
against
the erroneous, specifically some of the erroneous claims, the one is the Mediterranean, the great race theory has been debunked. The great invading race theory has been debunked.
people of African descent had no history, and that the history of Egypt was not a part of African history, but was a part of white history. They fought back and they won. Those claims have been debunked. But more needs to be done. It's vital that we understand the complexity and the diversity of the history of Egyptology as an academic discipline. We need to rediscover and remember stories like the ones I've talked about today, and we need to incorporate those into our histories of Egyptology. Magan Keita of Villanova wrote about a kind of academic gatekeeping, or as he put it, who has the right, who is privileged to participate in the construction of both history and knowledge. I'm here to say that it is imperative that when we think of the history of Egyptology, when we think of people like Flinders Petrie and George Reisner of Harvard, James Henry Breasted of the University of Chicago, we should also include with these individuals scholars like W.B. Du Bois, who challenged the dominant discourse of their day and who provided correctives to erroneous views that Egyptologists held. It took some time for their alternative perspectives to be accepted within Egyptology, but these are correctives that are now taken seriously and that forever changed the way that the history of ancient Egypt and ancient Nubia is understood.
Okay, so it's just that whole last section that I just gotta play for when cats get silly. I need to save this video somehow. But I mean, like I said, I ain't even got to really say too much no more. That's nonsense that there's nothing in ancient Egyptian literature that you could use. All you gotta do is Google sayings from ancient Egypt and see if they sound stupid or not. Like, come on. Now, if you're going to look for stupid stuff in any culture, you'll find it. That's why I just be laughing. But yeah. I was listening to APG. Action Packed Gangsters.
Your reign of terror is finished. Your rhymes are faded. Your beats diminished like the cavalry. I'm coming to the rescue.
I was that old 1989, boy. All right, but it's late night. Ain't nobody. Let me share the link one more time since I didn't. I don't think I pinned it. I don't know if I even shared it, but I'm about to share it. Probably ain't even got no time. I don't know why I'm doing that. I'm about to share the link in case somebody won't say what they want to say. Pin the message to the top. Pin the message to the top. Oh, I'm tripping. Yeah, so I've been on my hype though. On that Black City hype, doing my I've embarked on my path. I've been learning a lot. And it is what it is. Learning a lot about the real estate market. Got new tools for data. Let me see. And that's what I've been on. We'll hit the link though, but this is where my mind is just going here. Let me see. Because we got to start understanding. This was about to happen in the nation. When you can see it here, that's what's about to happen. But I don't want to shock us with that. Home value growth. That's what I'm about to click. The year-over-year growth rate in the area's typical home value according to Zillow Home Value Index. So the metro right now is the Austin Round Rock. I'm just about to put Oakland. I'm about to get ready to, you don't know. Somebody click the link if you want to go. If not, it is what it is. Well, I had an allergy attack, so I feel like closing down the stream. Shit crazy. You just start sneezing like 30 times. Hachoo! Hachoo! I'm like, what's this new stuff? I've been had allergies my whole life, but this been bad. Sneezing uncontrollably, nose hella itching. I took every drug. It ain't working. Sudafed, Benadryl. So somebody want to build, hit the link, stop playing. If not, I'm gonna, look at this real estate data. So I'm gonna go to Oakland. Do. So this right here is what we talked about, and when I'm talking about getting this paper and repositioning, we talk about my new company is to. So I just be looking at a lot of stuff we do in the hood and in the community, and I'm like, really, we need to just string it all the way up together and put together plans and packages for people to not just fix their credit and go get a new whip or something, but to put people in packages and able to be able to accumulate assets. And to walk them not just to get a 750 credit score, but walk them all the way through the purchase process and then getting them into a house. Now, the reason why I opened this company up maybe last month, and I did it off the impetus of my brother Reggie, who put out the Black City plan. But I understand things to be real, and I know I got a lot of time left to do stuff like this. So I'm like you could take the next 20 years and try to get something popping. Babylon Don in the building. About to beat me up. Babylon Don. You there? Pretty sure your mic is connected. Your mic ready? Let me see. Yeah, it's still setting up. Feel free to hit that link. I mean, yeah, I'll be doing all that. I'll be having to do a little bit of that too. But really, I'll be dealing with a sneeze attack, dude. Like you can't stop sneezing. Hachoo, 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 hachoo. So this is the first time that's happened. Hey, Babylon Don, you there?
Yeah, Smash him here. What's going on, brother?
Shit, maintaining. What it do?
Hey, I heard you asked was you know, W.E.B. Du Bois pseudo because he was trying to link the African Americans to the Egyptians. And I just want to put one word out there. I don't want to really build on it, but you should check on the trans-Saharan slave trade.
On trans-Saharan slave trade?
Yeah, straight up from West Africa to Egypt and back from Egypt back into Africa into America.
Uh-huh. Oh, that's interesting. And I've known about the trans-Saharan, but the whole time, bro, I don't know why I never thought east to west. I swear to God, in my whole brain, trans-Saharan was north to south. You feel me?
Yeah, yeah. They brought them from west and south to north, and then into Egypt and on into, Iraq and over there. Then when they came back through the other migration, they was bringing them back into Africa and trading them into America.
Yeah, I never. Somebody in the chat said they never got them before this year either. I always had allergies. I never had no uncontrollable fit of sneezing and all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like they put shit in their cosmos, bro. I'm like, what's going on?
Hey, they said something was in the water though, for real.
Something in it might not right now. It's in the air because the spring coming back, but this pollen is like some super COVID pollen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they were saying that it was in the water, but it was in the air, and that anybody around couldn't stop coughing.
Hey Judah, I am gonna get Gran Turismo, and when I race you, I'm gonna do it live because I'm gonna blow your doors off. But I play on PC. I'm a real driver. I'm not like a video game driver, bro. And I be top 3 in everything I do. So watch, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna grab Gran Turismo probably tomorrow or something. But yeah, I mean, aside from doing the knowledge, and you on the West Coast, where you at, Babylon?
Arizona, AZ.
Yeah, we be chilling and we would talk our shit, but I be noticing the other cats take it a little bit too more serious though. You feel what I'm saying? Like they can't kick it with somebody just because they believe something different. Or you couldn't get no money, like they couldn't get no money with somebody because he a Kemet. I can't get no money with a Kemet. You feel me? I'm like, that's nonsense.
Yeah, straight nonsense. Hey, to make your point, I was looking at the Freemasons when you was talking about it, and I was looking at the way they set their thing up. And anytime you see, I'll just say us set something up, it's always anti. It's like you can't join if you this, you can't join if you that. Now check out how the Masons got their thing set up. You have to have some type of God to join. So they just include of God to join. You
Oh
gotta have
yeah.
some type of God to join the Mason. That just means that they could take in anybody. But ours is restricted. We only take in a certain group of people. So they get to influence the world because they're willing to take anybody in there and redo them. But we have a restrictive type of entry where, like you said, if you Kemet, you can't come in here. If you're Hebrew, you can't come in here. If you're Moor, you can't come in here. If you're Nuwapi, you can't come.
Yeah.
We just break it all up.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But they're big because they say if you have any type of God, you can join this. You can still get in.
Judah say, oh yeah, I do got a private server that I'm not using. If we did something, we could hook that up and do some conscious races and pay me through PayPal. Oh, you said it ain't real racist? Yeah, just chilling. I heard that. I'm with that. Yeah, so I just was looking like, why didn't we show none of the angles? Not, I just talk and people, I really was just saying in defense of Kemet, there's a lot more we could show, even though that ain't what it's about to me, but that's just the debate topic. I feel we could be having these streams talking about stuff that'll get our lives way further, bruh. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But they were saying that this debate was supposed to do that because the debate thing was supposed to be the betterment of black people, which in America, which theory or theology or whatever you want to call it, religion or spiritual science, whatever they was looking for, because they said Kemet versus the Bible, and that didn't make sense. Like you either say Kemet versus canon, one country versus another, or you say, the Kemetic people versus the Israelite people, if you want to say they exist, but it didn't really make sense because you say Kemet versus the Bible. And then what are you talking about in Kemet?
I just
But
don't
I
think
thought
that.
Shaka gave good example.
I'm pretty sure we all got different stuff on our bookshelves, and so I think we just getting caught up in the versus culture, really. Like it don't really gotta
Yeah.
be versus, yo. It could just be I got a little bit from this, I got a little bit from that. You know what I'm saying?
But I mean, I think it just adds some type of. They always have to have a beef, man. So I just say let it ride, as long as
But
they
yeah, as a
learn.
debate, that's cool. But I'm saying to go all the way ham. Don't be like you not gonna talk about this, and I'm not gonna talk about that.
Oh yeah, that was whack.
Yeah, that's not
The
it. That's not
training
it.
wheel whack. But that was Cesariak though, right? I heard him when he said that when he brought that little um that little twist in there where he didn't want to have it where you could talk about it. But I still didn't see where it would have limited them. I just think that they took it too little. Because I heard somebody say it and I would have did it too. This is debate, bro. I still would have broke out the Bible. He couldn't stop me during my time. I just would have won the debate. I still would have broke out the Bible though.
What's up, John James? What's up with it? You can hear me? Maybe not, huh?
Hey, but yo, Smash, when you get a chance, one day though, probably not tonight, because you say you're going through things. But one day, let's visit that trans-Saharan slave trade and see what come up though.
Yeah, I was rocking, but they just threw me back. I could barely breathe through my nose right there. I'm like, God, this shit whack. So I mean, I don't like to go to sleep like this, but I'm just chilling, kicking back.
Yeah. So who you
but
think won the debate, Smash? Because I didn't watch it.
What you say? No,
Who
I
you
didn't
think
watch it
won
yet
the
either.
debate?
I just been watching all the talk surrounding it and the preliminaries and the following debate. I didn't. I had a
Smash.
game at that time, a fight. I was watching the
Oh
fight.
man.
You see that fight?
If you don't know, Shaka must did bad.
Shaka ain't ready. Did you see that fight though?
No, I ain't see it. Who won?
See, well, hold up. Garfield was like Shaka, the most exclusive. Man, shut that shit up, bro. That motherfucker ran. He the only person who can ran and go hide, and you call him exclusive. You feel me? He got to write his whole book over because of the Madjai. How he exclusive? And then he got hands put on by Tazarias. You know, hands put on. Bop, bop, bop. Looking crazy.
You for real though? Cesariak?
No, I'm talking not real hands. I'm just saying we never talk about real hands. We joking. This the YouTube streets anyway. How somebody could get hands put on them through the YouTube? Like, come on now.
No, I'm talking about Cesariak won though intellectually. You for real? Or you just got beef with Shaka?
I rock with them equal. I don't got beef with none of them. Just like this, when I was seeing the aftermath, you know how your homies come from around the corner, you could tell who won the fight. That's how that be. You be like the one acting one way. You be like, you had to got your ass. You know what I'm saying? The one like, no, wait. And then the other one just laughing like, hey, you should have seen what happened. You're going to be like, you must have beat his ass.
Yeah, that's funny though. Damn.
But I'm just having my fun. This is how I do on my page. I tighten it up on other people's page. I don't want to hoorah their page up. You feel me? Hoorah they show up. They would want me to do some knowledge. I'm like, okay.
Hey, so what's new in the knowledge though? What you working on right now? What you gonna be teaching on that?
Y'all been pushing. I mean, I just been following the wave of the community in order to stay up with what we've been discussing, because I have all my free time for research has been going into economics. I've been sharing some of those shows and some of the things I've been discussing along that line. I opened up a real estate development company, and I'm going to use like the next 2 years to try to position my company to build something up. You know what I'm saying? So in the meantime, I've been doing more research on that type of stuff.
I've been seeing the videos. I've been seeing you putting them up.
Yeah, that's what other in the knowledge. I was about to buy one book, but I told myself, because I got my glasses, I said, I need some books now. I need some more books. I was rocking for hella long without no glasses. My doctor was like, you should have probably got some about 8 years ago. You did good. She was like, normally people need them about 8 years ago. You did good.
Yeah. Shit.
But I ain't been doing nothing but just maintaining, man.
Me too. I just been watching everything they've been talking about. It ain't really been nothing really that interesting. I was hoping that. Well, did you see that? Well, I don't know if you saw it, but Shaka came on the aftermath on Sarnetta, and he did show where he had the ability to win that debate. But they say he didn't even show what he showed in the aftermath that the
Oh, we
debate at
definitely
all.
know. We know he got the ability to. That's what it's all about. That's like a freestyle rap battle. It don't matter who could do something on their record. It's about what you do in this 10 minutes while dude is in your face. And if you just, that's like a hoop game. You can hit all the shots in practice, or after the game, you could be like, one more shot dropping down. But when the game happened, your shot ain't dropping, shot. It wasn't. Well, I didn't see it, but you act like it wasn't dropping.
Yeah, no, they said he didn't show none of this part of this little thing that he had, and he actually had broke down. Now he said he did. He took different words from English language, like order, like community, and then he associated the Kemetic writings dealing with betterment of the people or dealing with family or whatever associated with that word. And he made a almost like a little, you couldn't call it a dictionary, but you could call it like almost like a little thesaurus type of thing. Where you look up the word and then you see an association. Yeah, he did that, and if he would have did that in the debate, I
So
just
so
know that
so
would have been a wrap.
so I heard a little. I heard a little with that, but I was wondering when I heard it, was he pulling from was he pulling from his
All of the
own?
records,
Was
Top
that from his
Hotel.
own research? Like he was
Yeah,
like,
that's
hit me
what
with
he
a
said.
scenario. He was, or did he have like some source? Because I was like, how did he do that?
No, he said he been working for a whole year. I trust his word. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
His
yeah,
own
that's
man. He
good,
know
but
what he
that's good
said.
work.
Yeah,
I can't
yeah.
front
He
on
said he
that.
been working for a year on it, no sleep. So you know, with the word play he had and what he was doing, what he was associated, I say he was doing good work. Now whether he
Well,
finished that, that's another story.
Shock is a scholar, but the thing that when he start condescending on people, it mess him up. He just need to stay humble, dude, and get his bars off. I don't even know if he can write, bro. I don't think he can. He probably one of them dudes who really ain't literate, bro. Like
I hear
I'm gonna give
everybody
him a
say
piece of paper and a pencil. He
that.
he can read though, so he got to be literate. But something about the way, like I don't get it.
Hey, Smash, you be hard on Shaka though, just like now.
Nah, he came at me wrong, and we had our little thing. But Shaka cool. I ain't mad at Shaka. I told
Yeah.
you after we worked that it's all love. I'm just telling the truth like it is. I'm not going extra hard. He did lose the debate. How you gonna be from Kemet and lose the debate? Yeah, to Israel. Like that's just what I'm saying. How you do that? That's brand new. Ain't
Yeah.
no Kemet never
Now,
lost to Israel ever.
and if I catch wind of that debate and it's a draw, then if he didn't win by a landslide and it's a draw, that means Cesare won.
See, I don't gotta see it. I'm down. That's what I'm saying. So you shouldn't let the people think you lost, because I'm just gonna go off what the people say. Oh, people say you lost. Oh, you lost. I ain't gotta
I heard
see
a
it.
lot of people say Shaka won. I did. I heard a lot.
Offer. Well, shout out to
Yeah, I
him. I
did.
hope he did. I hope he did.
But that was on Sarnetta though. That was on. That was in his home count. So I don't know how it is in the street.
Well, it is. Dude, I ain't mad at dude, really. I just, what I'm saying, like he poked the bear and the bear don't stop. The bears don't stop. They just keep on being like, remember that nigga? 50 ain't stopped messing with Ja Rule yet. I be like, would he let
What?
that man live, dude? Why
Once
did
again, maybe Tazariak set him up though, Smash, because remember Tazariak had said earlier before this debate ever happened, he said, "I'm coming out I'm a clown on these niggas. I'm gonna talk about these niggas like a dog. Da 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 da. Da. And then I think Shaka was prepared for that, and he came in on that vibe, like with the slights and all that. And I think that kind of threw off the scholarship, maybe. Now I didn't see the debate, but that's what I heard. That's what I'm hearing for what I see.
This the first. I know I'm off because my brain went wandering, but this is the first time I ever thought about Ja Rule kids on social media, seeing 50 rag they pops all the time.
Dang.
I never thought about that. Like, dang, that'll mess up your life as a man. And like, you don't want to have to explain that to your 12-year-old and shit.
Facts.
That's whack.
50 whack for doing it.
Yeah, I know for doing it for this long. That's what I'm saying. I need to
Yeah.
write a
He did.
petition. Write a petition for Ja Rule. Let him have his elder years, 50. I don't know. I went all off track, but that shit had me laughing. Think about it though. Like, damn.
Yeah. So do you plan on debating Smash anybody? Did you have any?
I don't really
'Cause
mind it though.
I love to see that now.
I
Know that we'll like to see that. Go
I
ahead.
have to
My
debate
bad.
some Kemet, man. They be messing Kemet up. Who would I debate, bro? Like, no one's really on the level. I wouldn't debate Cesario because he got a boss. What I look like, I never talk to no underlings. Like, you gotta go get your
Facts.
boss. I'm a boss. So I couldn't debate him. It had to be somebody on top of their shit, not no lieutenants, captains and shit.
Nah, you're right though. Cesariak ain't on your level though. He couldn't bring
Yeah,
it
he's
up.
not on my level. You need to go get the boss.
Cut it away.
I mean, I knocked down General Yohan 10 years ago and they didn't even respond. I was all on their Twitter. Then they was trying to talk. Then as soon as I hit them with some real Hebrew, they got embarrassed on Twitter. I was like, these niggas ain't ready. Because they was speaking that
Man.
Shalom shit. I don't even know why people speak that shit. That's just like some stupid ass shit. We be doing hella dumb shit as black people, blood.
Hey, why they done broke it down in the syllables? Like instead of saying shalom, they say shalom.
Yeah,
What's
but you can
up,
see
bro?
that they brain work just like pig Latin. They just put
Yeah.
they take everything and put an A on the end. And I'm like, dude, this hella weak. So shalom is shalom. So Yahweh is Yahweh, because you just saying an A. It wasn't
Yeah.
no other vowels.
And it's not, bro. That's a monstrosity. It's no other vowels. It's nothing. It's no ha after hey.
It's just
It's
all
no ah
shala
after
walla
the H.
holla. I'll be like, y'all.
Yeah.
So you living your life
And
like that?
Yasharala and Yahaya.
Oh, so you're high. So I heard an I, family.
Yeah.
Well, you might.
What
Oh,
did
but
you
that
say,
might
man?
not be coming up out of the LaShawn Kodesh or whatever. LaShawn, whatever that stuff was called. Whatever
I
though.
was
I ain't
saying,
man. I mean,
I wish I.
if anything make you say you just hate Africans to a 13-year-old little boy to their face, bruh, you lightweight a
Yeah, I
buster.
seen that.
You a real life buster. It don't matter what you think you are.
Yeah, that was whack. I saw that. Cesariak was whack for that.
Yeah, you can't come back for that. I just be capping only with the body butters. Get your money, man. I'll invest in your company. I'll get you up out the kitchen. I will get you up out the kitchen, though. So, you feel me? Because you need a place to do that. Especially if you was on the West Coast. I got a place where you can actually do that. But not in the kitchen.
So yeah, it'll be hard to find somebody to debate you though, Smash, because ain't nobody.
Nah, it's some good
Only
ones.
person would be somebody like Osarum Khan.
It's some
Like
good
if
ones. The
y'all two
toughest
had.
debates I've always had was with Asar Imtep and Ujahu. For years, we've been debate team nemesis. You know what I'm saying? We've been on the same squad, but it been like we don't be agreeing about shit. They be making shit up. I be like, I'm just a regular person, dude. I'm not trying to be like create something new. Somebody be thinking before it's over, I have to make something new in Egyptology. So they just be trying to change shit. And I'm like, bro, you ain't even that. Like, you know how many people doing that in all these communities? Don't think about it. Everybody, like Mississippi is now Egypt. Cause somebody trying to change some shit somewhere. Yeah, some nigga trying to change some shit at his house. Like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it this way.
Hey, I blame me for that. I blame me for the Mississippi and Egypt
Why you
thing and
say
all
that?
that.
Why you say? Why
The
you?
Colorado, the Nile River.
Why you blame yourself?
Cause I remember back in the day when I was writing about, I used to say that it was, the Pangaea and the continental drift and how it was all one water mass. And I said that the Nile River was actually connected to the Colorado River. And when it divided, all that. So, boy, that's crazy. That's exactly where I think it came from, bro.
Oh man, you ain't never cleaned that up. You ain't never came back like, hey, I was tripping.
Hey,
That's
man,
all
I
you
ain't
gotta say.
saying
I was
never,
wrong
bro.
on that research. Shit.
No, hey, I'm saying everything I gotta say right now, bro. I ain't saying nothing to them crazy flat earthers, man. They take
You
anything
might have
and say
had
I
some
gotta say.
followers. You might have had some followers took it, ran off with that one, boy.
Yeah, they did. Oh, that's right, man. Let's just stop, writing about stuff like that.
I swear to God, though, I ain't going hard on Judah. That's my man's. I ain't mad, but I'm gonna tell you, don't. You could go do a survey in the chat. Don't nobody put no the word for penis. Y'all know 1,000 words for penis, and then y'all, if you do a
Neck.
survey in the chat, Hebrews write about the most dicks ever. I ain't never seen it. Like every time I look back, look, the fans is a phallic symbol. Here we go back again. Commission is a D head. Look, come on, man. Let's cut it out. What y'all need to do is get your mind out the gutter, bruh. Especially with Kemet. You know what I'm saying? Don't even do that to Kemet. Let that whole, I know Judah got a laugh out of that. For real though, y'all gotta stop doing that. How many times a day do that be popping up on Tazarian's mind? He go, let me go look at this Egypt picture. This Egypt picture hella funny, Let me go look. See, this is what I'm gonna really bust down. If you really start talking about psychology, it's certain stuff you don't even just joke about as a man. So it's like certain jokes you wouldn't say, and it's certain conversations you don't want to have over and over again, ain't it? You feel me?
That's a fact.
And so
Yeah,
even
that's a
when they
fact.
do it antagonistically, they still like on some funny style shit. I'm telling you, bro, I've been a man for 48 years. I done seen
That's
motherfuckers try
right.
to joke bad about gay shit, but they really was on one. You feel me? Like, look at them old punk niggas. Look at the picture they got. Look at the picture they got. Look at the picture they got. I'm like, damn, nigga. You still want me to look at the picture they got?
Yeah. It
But
takes
some
a
people
certain
don't know.
energy and a certain person to keep going back on that and looking that up and researching and yeah, it takes a certain type of person to do that. I'm with you on that.
Yeah, so we gotta examine ourselves sometimes. Like we reveal more about ourselves when we be trying to vilify other people.
And it's obvious that that wasn't no type of culture or no type of civilization or no type of religious right or spiritual way in no way throughout Africa or in Egypt. There's nobody ever really condoned that except the
Yeah,
Greeks
you're
and
right.
possibly the Canaanites.
I mean, it's like this. I laugh at it and get a chuckle with it too. That's why Cesario be having me cracking up because I be expecting that to come from him. But if you don't expect to get hit with something like that, he ain't gonna hit you with no high science. So he gotta go
Nah,
that funny Hebrew route. Remember back in the day, they would actually do stuff like a group chant you out. Like you would be dropping knowledge in there and be like, shut up, we the Hebrews, shut up, we the Hebrews. For real, I would be like, what? Is this what we doing? Like we doing mob mentality group chants over the knowledge? Wow. Y'all know, but they cut that out because that was like, they started to do, and then we taught people about primaries, and now everybody talking about primaries. Shout out to the Amarat squad, right? We stepped it up for black people. That's you gonna go for. Find somebody on YouTube talking about the knowledge that ain't talking about a primary and shit. Facts. You feel me?
Yeah, but to me though, I ain't gonna call his name again. I've said enough tonight. But to me, who that era of these Jews who we talking about Hebrews, including Judah Nazareth, who they don't even have knowledge of their own book though. I be seeing people don't even read the Bible be beating them up. I be seeing people don't even read the Bible be beating them up. Like,
I mean, I could do better with the Bible, bro, because the first thing I can tell you how to be a Hebrew is stop saying all that shit is real. That's all y'all gotta do. Y'all can win hella debates. Stop saying everything real. Bow, then you on some stronger ground that quick. Like, that's just the answer. If y'all was beating me up, I was a Hebrew, I say, no, that shit fake. Next. Yeah, they made that shit up like, hey, Rue, next. Yeah, we just need something to go off like everybody needs something to go off. Why is that not a valid answer? Because they really believe the sky gonna crack open, bruh, and some dude named Jesus gonna come out, so they can't say that.
They do believe that a lot, but they believe it.
So how you gonna believe that and debate me? I'm asking you that right in the debate. Do you believe the sky's gonna crack open? Let's stop talking about fallacies and stuff. Do you believe, as a grown ass man, that the sky gonna crack open? Somebody gonna come save black people
on a white horse?
Yeah,
with 144,000 other people on a white horse.
With a tattoo of King of Kings, Lord of Lords on his thigh. With a tattoo King of Kings, Lord of Lords on his thigh. Who was the tattoo artist? And then somebody tried to lie and say the tattoo was on a sword. How do you tattoo on a sword? They so dumb.
It says on his thigh.
This is the trick. It go like this. What you read? Revelations 3? Oh, I'll tell you about that. Go. Hey, why don't you go to Judges 4 and 3. Judges 4 and 3 say it's a sword. So that's not a thigh in Revelations. I'm like, what? If you got a tat on your, hey, anybody in the chat got a tat on your thigh? If you in the chat with a tat on your thigh, put a 1 right now.
And you a man. And you a man.
Represent for yourself. No, I don't even care. I want to see how you go down. I'm like, yeah, shit, ain't nobody got that. I mean, like, a sister might have that, though, but she ain't even about to put it. All right, I'll go further. King of Kings and... somebody was talking about King of Kings and Lord of Lords didn't come from Egypt. Yeah, it came from Jesus' thigh, bro, Revelations. So how did y'all read it? So y'all went, okay. Somebody says, is there any truth to identical Egyptian-like coffins being found in Asia somewhere? I don't know, man. A lot of the stuff I research don't take me too much out the grammar. If y'all see how I spend my time a lot in that TLA, I do a lot of philological work, looking over text to see what they really said in the text. It'll be kind of like a dude. I don't want to equate it to the Bible because it's not all religious text, but it's just be like I'm a Kemet Bible thumper or whatever. I stay in the text and be wanting to know text as soon as somebody say something. I'll be like, well, I'm a new hat said this. And so I don't be knowing the most about the mythology and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because that ain't what my passion was. It'd be like wanting to know the language. But I learned it by default of having to know the language. But yeah, man. Somebody gonna click the link. If not, at 3 hours, we got about 15 minutes. Shit. I'm still
Yeah,
chilling.
you're the most solid though, as far as it comes to like being like at least trying to be like thorough and actually give a real translation of the Medunex. A lot of these brothers just be throwing out words. We see your work, bro. So we
I
appreciate that.
appreciate that, but I gotta say the Seshu was raw. I ain't seen him around lately, and we disagreed on things as scholar at a really high level. But at anything on the lower, on the
Man,
regular level, they was bodying the set, like they was translating hella text all the time and shit. And I
but
don't be
man,
seeing that
he's
no more.
pseudo though.
Who you
He's
talking about?
pseudo though, Smash.
Who you talking
Mujab.
about? Yeah, Woo
Mujab.
be going there though. He is in his
He's
background.
pseudo.
When
And
he ain't
then,
got it all, but the Seshu. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. He ain't pseudo, really. Like he really not.
wait. Before you say that, let me get one word in. When he had the argument with Deshret, talking about that being red and painting Egyptians red and then not
Yeah,
acknowledging
yeah,
the
you right,
color,
man. You right.
that
Yep.
was
That
whack, man. Cause
I can't give
there's
no
plenty of
passes
birds.
on that. I can't get no passes when people see brown and they just keep. He will never call the brown skin on the ancient Egyptian brown. He always gonna
I
say
know.
reddish brown. He will never say brownish red even. But
I know that was retarded. I don't know where it happened to him on that tip, man. It's a couple of things like that he did, like a lot of them,
But that don't take
a lot
nothing away from what he do know, though. That's what I was trying to say. And that's throwing out the baby with the bathwater because he do know how to teach people that language when sticking to it. He got it from other people and then he misrepresented it like it was his own knowledge. That was a defect of being down with Dr. York. You feel me? Like he just seen people prevail that way. Same thing Polite did. How y'all still think Polite got 94 books that he wrote, yo? Like for real. Can he
Stop,
still speak
man.
7 languages? He stopped speaking 7 languages when he got that red hat, huh?
Yeah,
Oh,
but
okay.
I think Mujal be too contrarian, and then once he get there in the contrarian state, he has to remain there. So he wound up saying some stupid stuff like the word riparian is another name for Egypt,
Yeah,
stuff
I know.
like
That
that.
was
Come on, bro.
he scrappy dude
Come
up
on,
on that.
bro.
He scrappy dude up on that too hard behind the Sar Imhotep. That was his problem. That was a character flaw. And he was going to bat harder than the Sar for that. Now they just blew themselves embarrassingly up out the space. And the longer you take to come back, the more embarrassing it look. What you gonna pop up on the
Yeah.
tube next month? You know what I'm saying? So this just like, you just convinced yourself that you wanted to get away from YouTube because you was getting them hands put on and it was looking ugly. And it was probably starting to leak back into the household because your whole shit built on Metal Netter. All right, my shit is not over here built on no goddamn Metal Netter. Like if y'all beat me in a debate, don't nobody give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not that. And so, but other situations be different though. So you be having to be right
Yeah.
about everything because you didn't taught everything. You Z York. You can't be wrong.
Stop, man. You know that's my bro. Hey, but listen, let me ask you this. What's up with your bro Osam Cop? I heard him the other day on a certain show, and I also heard Osam Cop talk about Dr. Emoto out of Japan and the rice and the water experiment. What's up, bro? Come on.
Hey, you might have to come out the bushes or something. Cause hey, you know what? I can't even lie. I heard some beliefs and some traditions. I was like, oh, I didn't know if all. I mean, people allowed to
Man, come
believe.
on,
Look,
man.
we grown ass men out here,
I didn't
bro. Ain't
get that,
nobody tripping off what nobody else think. If that's what he rocking, that's what he rocking. But I don't rock none of that. Like none of that
Hey, but
shit.
we can pull that off.
The
We
water
should
got
pull that off
consciousness,
on that.
bro. Cut it. That's crazy.
Hey, Smash, we should pull that off. That's an experiment we could do. It ain't like the double slit experiment. We can actually get some cups of rice, put some water in there, close up the cup, and every morning we show online, we say in one cup, thank you. We say to the other cup, whatever evil we can say, and then we won't say nothing to the third cup. And then we see how it act in 90 days or whatever. And they say the one that we say thank you to is supposed to ferment and smell sweet. The one that we curse out supposed to turn black. And the one we won't say nothing to is supposed to turn them old.
Man, somebody
Hey,
think.
this your something called, boy. Hey, wait, watch out.
I'm wondering, like, man, I can't really have people hearing that. They gonna think my channel going bad. You feel me? Like you be like, oh, like the other day, some cats broke out with the Marvel comic books. I was downstairs, I couldn't intervene, but I heard a whole discourse about how black people was Superman. I was like, what? I was like, man, I didn't left the screen for too long. Cats, they doing that Marvel comic books black man talk.
Hey, boy, I was cracking up, man. That's so crazy though. That dude was funny.
But he got the
He got a
knowledge.
comic book though.
I mean, he got knowledge. That's all I know.
Yeah.
Hey, so what you think about Cash App dude getting killed?
Oh yeah, I heard about that. Now they talking about he put out some woke tweets before he got killed. They always pull that bullshit. I don't know. I mean, I just think he just, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't want to say it on my. I don't even want to say it. I can't give mine because mine's too real.
Well, people got conspiracy theories. We all form conspiracy. Everybody like, ooh, fed now, and now the Cash App dude. Well, don't you think they all were saying that too? Like, if we roll it out 1 week after we kill him, people are going to say, fed now, then the Cash App dude. Like, I guess that's just because we're on YouTube and people trying to get content. You know what I'm saying? That everybody acting like they putting together a new conspiracy or some shit. That you know on the
But
next
I'm
person.
saying they can kill it because if them niggas couldn't tell us who killed Takeoff in front of all them people and cameras right there in front of us in slow fucking motion, kill it, bruh. Ain't no telling. You know what I'm saying?
He got stabbed too, so that's not a coincidence, man. Untraceability.
Yeah.
You can keep the knife. I mean, you can't keep the knife. I'm just saying. How they gonna trace a knife like a gun? Where that knife came from?
Yeah, that'll be a hard one right there. For real. I don't know. I don't know. Shit, for the record, though, you know what I'm saying? I don't care about the cash out dude. You know what I'm saying? Like I really don't. He don't serve no fucking purpose in what our people doing other than, recapitalizing. We could look at him as a financial person, but as far as caring about him, you know what I'm saying? If somebody stabbed me to death right now, he wouldn't give a damn if he was alive. He wouldn't think two thoughts about it.
He wouldn't even. He wouldn't think shit.
Yeah, I'm just like Khalid Muhammad. Shit, I'm the same way. I don't think two thoughts about it. Ain't two shakes about it for me neither, bro. I know how they feel.
Like,
yeah. You see my shit in the newspaper, yeah, flip the fucking page, start looking for some fucking computer parts or something.
Well, this world, I don't know, but that San Francisco stuff, like, you could it's crazy out here. I ain't ready to be living in no violent area at this age.
Hey, I heard this earthquake getting ready to come over that way, though. What's up?
Hey, it's been shaking lately, bro. It's been like...
That's what I'm saying.
Like, but I live in Central Cali where you can't even feel them, and I've been feeling them. So I'm like, oh, the Bay probably shaking like crazy right now. You ever been in an
That's
earthquake?
crazy. No, hell no.
Man, earthquakes is crazy, bro. It's a crazy feeling because
I was,
not only the earth shaking, but the rumble is a rumble like you never heard. The sound is crazy. It'd be like
yeah,
it's like the whole world's moving. Like it'd be like it's just a different bass and everything. You hear houses shake from down the street.
yeah. I know where that come from though. Like when those plates of earth rub together and pass in front of each other or over each other, they vibrate like scrubbing, like, and then that caused the earth crust to shake on the top and all that shit to happen. And that's what a lot of noise be coming from. They ain't never like the earth itself rubbing up against some plates.
So so have you ever dealt with the Moors? You been down with the Moors before?
No, hell no. You talking about like Noble Drew Ali type more?
Well,
That type
the
of
Black Moorish Temple of America.
no, not at all.
So I'm asking because I've been look. I mean, all right, excuse me, because I just wanted to know what you knew about some of those teachings that they was putting out. Like I don't hear them too much no more, but
Oh,
some of
I
the
got the book
sovereignty
right here.
teachings, the sovereignty
I
stuff.
got yeah. Well, see now that's a separate theme or story than the Moorish Americans.
Oh, you
More
must,
like
but you
some
know,
Noble Drew Ali.
what do you say about that movement?
Oh, I think they pseudo. I think they scammers. I think they playing games. I even heard some Hebrew Israelites talking about you need to get your status corrected for real over there in Israel. Now, I was tripping on that. Oh, that
Okay,
status
so
correction shit.
this what
Sovereignty,
that
sovereign citizen.
this what they mix up with that though. Because I that you also hear them talking a lot about UCC code, right?
Trash. Yeah.
But that's a real thing, like that's valuable to
Yeah.
understand. And the fact that I learned about it through such tainted sources like that, it make me wonder in my pseudo thinking that's worth my time to research. You feel what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, check it. It's good because it take the person through the process of calling the Secretary of State and being used to dealing with paperwork and doing their own paperwork, because that's all UCC Uniform Commercial Code is. It allows a person to not follow the judicial or the municipal court, and it allows them to use the Uniform Commercial Code, which is like Robert rules, which is like parliamentary procedures during a meeting. If you have an organization or a corporation and you don't have a rule set up or regulations they set up, then if somebody had to judge that, like a judge or a mediator, then they would enforce parliamentary procedure, which would be Robert's rules, which would be a universal rule that they use. So that's all the Uniform Commercial Code is. There's a uniform or a universal code that people can use where they don't have to file taxes through the state and they don't have to put the state in their business and they can do transactions without the state because you file your own taxes with the UCC. So nobody in your city or your state don't have to know your worth or know what you're doing. And it's all private business. And if y'all have an issue, y'all handle it on your own and all that good stuff. But if it get apart and fall apart, still got to go to court just like everybody else. If we get into some type of tussle or anything else. But
So
UCC, they lie about that smash. Last thing, where they lie at is they make it greater than what I just said.
oh, I
It's
definitely
just
wasn't
like
about
a
to
no.
look. I'm not trying to learn about it through no YouTube sources, but I'm talking about taking classes as learning how. I mean, things I need to know in development, and that's not one of them, basically.
Yeah, no, no. That's too easy. You can just call the Secretary of State, get the paperwork sent, read it, and then start doing UCC. When you get ready to do business with somebody, send them out a copy of what you have with your signature on it and let them sign it. And if they say, yeah, I'll do business with you like that, you're in business. If they say no, then it's another issue. It's just a
I just
contract.
don't all the way get it, but I know it's about governing a code govern over transactions and all type of commercial activity. Like you said earlier, that if it ain't no set rules set forth, then they just default to the universal code. I've learned that
Yep.
much too, but I ain't trying to go down that street. That street sound way too Moorish. You feel me? You gonna wind up selling fucking
Yeah,
yeah.
it is. It's fake. It's a fake. It's a fake little way. It's just like an LLC or any other type of initiative that you're gonna get anyway, and they still a part of the government. They just like anybody else. Only thing they doing is filing their own taxes. They file a W-9 instead of W-2.
So the question here, right here now, I mean, it had me thinking about something else, but man, this shit crazy. Oh no.
I can't really though, bro. Smash. I really cannot stand the Moors, the Moorish. None of them, man. On the Nova Joy League team, I can't stand none of them. All of them, two fake liars, and they act like slaves to me. They act like coonish. They don't do no real black power moves or nothing. They just totally for the system and you know that right there. I can see that. They don't do nothing. They lame, man.
What you think about that BRICS new currency?
Talking about which one? Talking about Brazil and Russia,
BRICS, yep. All what is it? India, China? I don't know
India, and
if
China. Yeah, yeah.
they
Well,
coming together with that paper. First thing I'm thinking is how I get some bricks, man.
yeah.
I need 20 bricks. You feel
Stop,
me?
bro. You better stop talking like
How they gonna get me in trouble, huh?
that. Yeah, for real, talking like that. Hey, but listen though. I'm gonna tell you what I think about it because I posted on that. Well, they said it on this little YouTube, and they gave pretty much the facts that if you look at Brazil and you look at their population, and then you look at India and you look at its population and China, this the largest populations in the world. So if they come together, that would be the largest organization in the world,
But
including Russia.
but see, now it's looking ugly. You look how you got just to go back to the streets, right? And you helping somebody like I mean, I'm just acting like we in a movie. Don't go to the streets, go to a movie. Like if somebody
Okay.
got beef in the movie, right, and you giving them guns and shit, like, but you not fighting in the beef, but you like, huh, here go another chopper. You feel me? And that's what the
Yeah.
U.S. is doing for the Ukraine and the Russia war, right? Now check this out. So you doing that, right? And then you get on the phone and you hear the dude that you doing that to just hooked up with Lou, Bobby Ray, JoJo.
Yeah.
You feel me? And you gonna be like, oh, he gonna eventually, he know I'm giving him them guns. He know I'm
Yeah.
giving them guns, bro. Russia got some friends now, bro.
Yeah. That's right. They've been trying to get it popping though. But now this is about currency though, and about the internet and control of the media and all of that, and the one world currency. Because if China able to get all them on their team, then they pretty much got it on lock. Like
So
far as
I'm about to share my screen so you can see, and I'm gonna say it like this because I never ever. I'm like, it's only times in my life when I'm so tempted to tell my people about opportunity that I think that's about to come again. You can go look at my Facebook, and I was talking about Bitcoin. I've been talking about it since 2012, right on my Facebook since it was $77. But now where I was wondering what's gonna happen to make what's about to happen happen. And now, just like other people who watch the economy, they're realizing we finally learned what the catalyst for making Bitcoin go parabolic. We don't know where it's going to reach, but the catalyst is here. The catalyst, first,
yeah,
one of them is bricks. Second is the collapse. This war putting the pressure on the U.S. economy. Now the U.S. economy experiencing bank runs, where it's gonna come down to an old question for a lot of people with a lot of money, and the question is gonna be where to put your money, because they're about to do hella crazy shit with the banking, bro. Like it's gonna be like
That's a fact.
we gonna be like video game characters. Like they'll be able to control our accounts so easy to where it's gonna be a totalitarian type of thing. You might not see it as that, but imagine if the school controlled all the lunch money for the kids or everything. Nothing works like that. Like I don't understand why we think that that's cool. That we gonna be banking with the people who make the money, and it's the government.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be
Hey, you
crazy.
saying some deep shit now, for real though, bro. Keep teaching. I'm with you. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, so it's gonna be three real options. It's gonna be cash that you're gonna bury somewhere when all these banks fail. It's gonna be cash that you're gonna bury somewhere. It's gonna be gold, precious metals, but that's not gonna be as easy as you think. When the banks close, then how you gonna transact it? Which transaction medium you gonna use? You gonna use
That's
Zelle?
right.
You ain't gonna be able to use Zelle. You gonna use a credit card? Okay, that's cool. They're gonna crunch that credit debt. But so it's gonna be like buy gold, trust in cash. Some people gonna still go with the banks even though they collapse. No one's gonna keep the money in the bank when they're collapsing. So that's gonna be the catalyst because some people got experience with Bitcoin already and they know Bitcoin and they made millions. So I'm pretty sure they'll run back there. At least some people will if we experience hyperinflation, which they say we are at the point where we might just do that though. Now people say
The
they even
cash.
said, go ahead.
I was just gonna say the Cash App dude should have did what the Bitcoin dude people did. Don't nobody really know who owned Bitcoin, actually.
Well, you wouldn't have been able to pull off Cash App in that regard because they are compliant. But they got plenty of peer to peer.
Facts.
So basically, Bitcoin is Cash App with anonymity. Like you feel me? They
Without no
just
regulation.
yeah, with anonymity, it's just like okay, you can't. So this is one thing I wanted to show people because as this go down, people will learn need to know how to really do Bitcoin. See, everybody know how to do it the way that the man set it up for you, right? So I just went to bitcoin.com. This ain't gonna work. They might mess you up too. But we want to go to find the old technology that underlies the system so you can get back to peer-to-peer transactions and nobody knowing where your money at. So it still exists. They don't teach it though. So you gotta know a crypto OG. Here we go, like myself. So this is bitcoin.org here. Now this is where the trick starts because even they start putting the fix in on them. So when you say choose your wallet, the only one that's gonna and they probably got past this by now, but the only one that was actually going to give you the true anonymity was if you ran the Bitcoin Damien. It was Bitcoin D. Well, let me see. Let me see if I can find it.
Bitcoin, Damien, that's deep.
Yes,
Damn.
and so it's basically where you be they got a graphic user interface now, but you could have interacted with these protocols without even a graphic user interface. You just got to know Bitcoin APIs, and so you can definitely interface with. If I put Bitcoin APIs, let me see. I think that's what. Yeah, there we go. Let's see. So this is all when Coinbase closed down, and when they closed down all the stuff, only the people who know how to act, or is it RCP? Only the people who know how to access the stuff. I ain't looked at this in so long, so we'll be able to do transactions without the government looking. Especially when they launched the U.S. central bank digital currency.
Yeah.
They gonna just start
I know what you're
burning.
talking about, peer to peer, though. I do.
Yeah, so you think
So, but it's been ways, I can't say it on the phone now for real, and you know that. But I will tell you this, though. I do have some ideas on how to get around the peer-to-peer.
Get around what?
To get around the peer-to-peer, what we talking about?
Oh, it's already there. It's crypto. I mean, they got that. And so, like, if the banks all closed, I could send somebody however much amount. They would just have to grab. Now, the question is, where are you going to turn that back to cash? Well, cash ain't going to be cash no more because ain't nobody going to want it no more. So they going to take your Bitcoin. Or they going to take whatever other form. They'll take your gold. Since people don't want to hear about gold, Bitcoin, let's talk about gold. People will take your gold then. They'll be like, just give me 2 pieces of gold and here goes some chips.
Hey, Smash, remember, were you back in the day? Do you remember? And it's still going on right now. I still see a video every now and then. Do you remember when they was talking about revaluing the dollar bill, the revaluation of the dollar bill, and they were talking about taking 3 zeros off of the dollar bill in certain countries and all of that?
Dang, I never heard about that.
Yeah, man, they had all them people money, had all them people invest all that money and buy into like the Babylon Fund and all these different funds. And it's still going on a little bit right now. It's called revaluation of the dollar. Look that up one day. You'll see it. You'll see what I'm talking about. It's big time, though. It's big time. It started out just like Bitcoin.
Man, don't tell me they took the original stuff off of here. Let me see. Show wallet ideas for new users. Show all the wallets. This is what you want to do. Let me see. Control. Which criteria? Transparency. No, not transparency. Privacy. Validation and fees. Click transparency too. No, not transparency. See, they got it doing all this they making it so hard for you to find which one is the real. I'm just gonna find it in a different way. And just so people can know is Bitcoin D. I should still have it on the old computer, right? Bitcoin D. Bitcoin Damien. DAEM. Yeah, there you go. Running the full node. That's how you gotta do it. You run that full. Wait, come on, man. They got me messed up. I ain't looked at this method in years, and it seemed they took it out of the. They made it not so easy so that we could do this. Obviously, you know what they do, but it's still here somewhere. There you go. This is it. The Bitcoin Core Wallet. This is what you need, and so I think it's on this page. Yep. And you can do, this is the old school way. Let me see. See if I can find it. So the thing about it, everybody can't do this. You got to dedicate a whole computer to it. But it's worth it when if you think so. I mean, if you on that hype and you think it might be a safekeeping, where you gonna keep your gold? See, people gotta understand gold give you the same problems that cash got. If you gonna keep your cash and cash going, you ain't putting it in the bank no more. You gonna have it someplace in safekeeping. Well, it's harder to put a gold in safekeeping. Say you got 2 million. You're gonna have to have a big ass safe everybody can see.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's gonna you ain't gonna put it in the bank vault no more. See, I was learning stuff about banks and shit, and I'm like, oh my God, watch some videos about the banking system, bro. Your head gonna spin. Because I'm preparing to try to hit them for some big ass multi-million-dollar loans. And I'm getting all my confidence up. But damn, I can barely breathe now. So I'm gonna get ready to end this stream just because my allergies took over and they knocked me down, bro. I don't know what to do. I done took some fucking everything. It's ugly. So I'm gonna get me some rest. That's probably the best thing for now. But I'd like to thank you for helping make this a cool stream.
Yeah, bro. Go back to that old school though. Go back to that old school shit. You better get you some echinacea, some golden seal.
Yeah, I've been on all this Sudafed Benadryl type of stuff. You feel me? It normally works for
Yeah,
me, but I had an attack today. I'm just about to
yeah,
take some
I
bro.
agree. Yeah, but okay, bro, you'll be all right though. 'Cause I know
Oh
you
yeah,
you
I'm good. No,
sharp
I'm
on the
good.
knuckles,
I'm on some. Dude, I've been dealing with allergies since I was. I've been dealing with it since I was a kid.
yeah.
It's nothing, but I just don't feel the best right now. I'll holler at you. I mean, thanks for tapping in. I'm gonna
Hey,
close this.
peace,
Yeah, I'm gonna
smash,
close the
peace,
stream
bro.
and finish the show. Word up. Yeah. So I really was just like going over some things. I don't know much about these brothers, but I would like to thank them for having initiatives up to help Black people right now to this day. You know what I'm saying? Mentorships and all the other things. We talked about Delaney. We talked about Du Bois. We could have went in on Martin Luther King, everybody else, but the ultimate point is nobody wasn't ignoring Kemet and was deep on the Bible. The Bible was forced on them, and like I said, Nat Turner grabbed that Bible, went and did all that killing, which was whatever, cool. Show some heart, fine, but it didn't do nothing for Black people. He got caught. John Brown got caught or whatever. You feel me? Or whatever. And they outlawed book reading for Black people for another 30 years in all the states. Now research that and see if I made that up. We got to stop misusing history, keep people in their rightful place. I know millions of people reading for 30 years was worth more to the struggle than 65 dead white people. You feel me? And so I don't even think that was their struggle. We got a different struggle. Consists of the same characters, but it's a different struggle. It ain't like we in some different chains right now. Financial chains, mental chains, all kind of chains. Thanks for tapping in. Thanks for supporting the channel. Y'all always make it a worthwhile night. I appreciate y'all. And if it wasn't for y'all, then what would I do? I'll be playing video games and enjoying my leisure. Okay? Y'all have a good night.